Welcome back to Lore 2 RPG, where we dive deep into gaming's greatest stories. Today we journey into the fractured cosmos of Elden Ring to explore one of its most devastating and tragic sorceries, Stars of Ruin, the legendary spell of Master Lusat. Over the next couple hours, we'll uncover the profound lore behind this primeval sorcery, the broken mind that conceived it, and the forbidden knowledge that shattered a brilliant scholar's very existence. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's begin this epic adventure together into the dark mysteries of the primeval current. Chapter 1. The Nature of Stars and Ruin. In the vast expanse of Elden Ring's cosmos, few spells command the same mixture of awe and dread as Stars of Ruin. This legendary sorcery, when cast, manifests as 12 dark shooting stars that pursue their target with relentless determination, each projectile carrying within it the essence of stellar death itself. The spell can be cast while in motion, its dark luminescence painting trails across the battlefield, like the final breaths of dying constellations. But to truly understand Stars of Ruin, we must first comprehend what it represents. This is not merely another glintstone sorcery, crafted from the ambient magic of the lands between. No, Stars of Ruin belongs to the primeval current, that forbidden wellspring of cosmic power that predates the very foundations of conventional magic. It is a spell born from tragedy, conceived in the moment when a brilliant mind gazed too deeply into the universe's most terrible secrets. The description of Stars of Ruin tells us that when Lusat glimpsed into the primeval current, he beheld the final moments of a great star cluster, and upon seeing it, he too was broken. This single sentence encapsulates one of the most poignant tragedies in Elden Ring's lore, the price of forbidden knowledge. Lusat did not simply witness stellar death, he experienced it, felt it, became one with the cosmic dissolution he observed. In that moment of terrible clarity, his mind fractured like the dying stars themselves, and from that fracture came this devastating sorcery. The 12 projectiles that comprise Stars of Ruin are not arbitrary in their number. In many mystical traditions, 12 represents completion and cosmic order, the 12 signs of the zodiac, the 12 months, the 12 hours. Yet here, these 12 stars represent the opposite, the completion of destruction, the ordered dissolution of stellar matter, the final countdown to cosmic death. Each projectile carries within it the weight of Lusat's revelation, the knowledge that even the mightiest celestial bodies are not eternal. When we examine the spell's mechanics, we see that it can be charged to increase its potency, but at the cost of longer casting time. This detail reveals something profound about the nature of primeval sorcery. The power is there, waiting to be channeled, but it demands patience, contemplation, a willingness to open oneself fully to the cosmic forces being invoked. The charging process is not merely mechanical, it is a brief communion with the same terrible knowledge that broke Lusat's mind. The dark nature of these shooting stars is particularly significant. Traditional stars in Elden Ring's cosmology are sources of light, wisdom, and magic. They guide astrologers, provide power for glintstone sorceries, and represent hope in the darkness. But Lusat's stars are explicitly described as dark. They are the antithesis of stellar radiance, the shadow image of what stars represent. They are not births of light, but deaths of illumination. Not sources of power, but consumers of it. This darkness reflects Lusat's own transformation. Once a brilliant scholar and Grand Master at the Academy of Raya Lucaria, his pursuit of forbidden knowledge left him as a crystallized husk, his mind replaced by glintstone, his humanity consumed by his obsession with the primeval current. The dark stars of his spell are extensions of his own darkened existence, projections of a consciousness that has seen too much and been forever changed by the experience. The homing nature of the projectiles speaks to another aspect of cosmic horror present in the spell. These are not random bolts of energy that can be easily avoided. They seek their target with the inevitability of fate itself, much like how the knowledge Lusat gained pursued him relentlessly until it consumed his very being. Once cast, Stars of Ruin represents the inexorable nature of cosmic truth. It cannot be escaped, only endured. In player versus player combat, Stars of Ruin has gained notoriety for its overwhelming nature. The 12 projectiles create a storm of destruction that is nearly impossible to completely avoid, forcing opponents into desperate evasive maneuvers that often prove futile. This reflects the spell's lore perfectly. It is not meant to be a fair or balanced force, but rather a manifestation of cosmic horror, an expression of knowledge so terrible that it breaks minds and devastates all who encounter it. The spell's ability to be cast while in motion is particularly telling. Unlike many powerful sorceries that require the caster to remain stationary, channeling their energy through stillness and concentration, Stars of Ruin can be unleashed while moving. This suggests that the knowledge behind it has become so integrated into Lusat's being that it flows from him as naturally as breath. The spell is not something he performs, it is something he has become. When we consider the broader implications of Stars of Ruin within Elden Ring's magical taxonomy, we see it represents the ultimate expression of stellar sorcery, taken to its logical extreme. While most star-based spells in the game draw upon the creative and life-giving aspects of stellar power, Stars of Ruin embraces the destructive potential that lies at the heart of all cosmic phenomena. It acknowledges that stars, for all their beauty and power, are ultimately temporary. They burn out, collapse, and die, taking entire systems with them. This philosophical weight is what separates Stars of Ruin from other powerful sorceries in the game. Comet Azure, for all its devastating power, represents a focused beam of stellar energy. Founding Rain of Stars calls down the creative amber that gave birth to glintstone magic itself. But Stars of Ruin is different. It is the culmination of stellar death, the final statement of a mind that has seen the universe's ultimate truth and been shattered by the revelation. The spell's legendary status is not merely a gameplay designation, but a recognition of its profound significance within the magical traditions of the lands between. It stands alongside the greatest achievements of sorceress learning, yet it is also a warning, a reminder of what happens when the pursuit of knowledge transcends the boundaries of mortal comprehension. Stars of Ruin is simultaneously Lusat's greatest triumph and his ultimate tragedy, a spell that embodies both the heights of magical achievement and the depths of cosmic horror. As we prepare to delve deeper into Lusat's story, it's important to understand that Stars of Ruin is not just a spell he created. It is his legacy, his final gift to the world, and his eternal curse. In learning this sorcery, practitioners don't merely gain access to powerful magic. They touch, however briefly, the same forbidden knowledge that consumed one of the greatest minds in the Academy's history. They taste the darkness that lies at the heart of the cosmos, and feel the weight of truths too terrible for mortal understanding. This is the true horror of Stars of Ruin, not just its destructive power, but what it represents. It is evidence that some knowledge comes at too high a price, that there are truths in the universe that the human mind was never meant to comprehend. Yet it also stands as a testament to the relentless curiosity that drives scholars like Lusat to push beyond all boundaries, even when they know the cost may be their very sanity. Chapter 2: Master Lusat. The scholars rise to understand the true tragedy of Stars of Ruin. We must first understand the man who created it. Master Lusat was not merely another sorcerer seeking power. He was one of the founding fathers of glintstone sorcery itself, a scholar whose brilliance helped shape the very foundations of magical learning in the lands between. His story is one of incredible achievement, followed by devastating loss, a tale that speaks to the dangerous allure of forbidden knowledge. Lusat hailed from Sellia, a town of magic-practicing assassins located in the eastern Khalid wilds. This detail is crucial to understanding his character, for Sellia was no ordinary settlement. It was a place where magic and martial prowess intertwined, where the pursuit of arcane knowledge was tempered by practical application and deadly skill. Growing up in such an environment would have instilled in young Lusat both a deep respect for magical power and an understanding of its potential for destruction. The town of Sellia itself holds many secrets. Its streets are lined with invisible barriers that can only be revealed through specific magical means, suggesting a community that valued hidden knowledge and esoteric practices. The very architecture of the town speaks to a culture that understood magic not as mere academic exercise, but as a living, breathing force that could reshape reality itself. This environment would have been formative for Lusat, teaching him that magic was not just about understanding principles, but about pushing boundaries and exploring the unknown. From these humble yet mystically charged beginnings, Lusat rose to become one of the founding glintstone sorcerers of the Academy of Raya Lucaria. This achievement cannot be understated. The Academy represents the pinnacle of magical learning in the lands between, and to be among its founders means that Lusat helped establish the very principles upon which all subsequent magical education would be based. He was not simply a student who excelled, he was a pioneer who helped chart the course for generations of sorcerers to come. His specific area of expertise lay in the study of meteors, those celestial visitors that bridge the gap between the cosmic and the terrestrial. This focus on meteors was not arbitrary. It represented Lusat's innate understanding that the greatest magical insights often came from observing the intersection of different realms of existence. Meteors are neither fully of the heavens nor of the earth. They are cosmic matter that has journeyed across impossible distances to impact the physical world, carrying within them the essence of stellar processes and cosmic forces. This meteoric research would eventually form the basis for his Olivinus Conspectus, one of the formal schools of magical study at the Academy. The Olivinus Conspectus represented Lusat's systematic approach to understanding stellar magic, his attempt to codify the principles by which cosmic forces could be harnessed and channeled by mortal practitioners. It was a comprehensive framework for magical education, one that influenced countless students and shaped the development of glintstone sorcery for generations. The crown associated with this conspectus, the Olivinus glintstone crown, bears a striking resemblance to portraits found throughout the Academy. These portraits, which appear in multiple locations within the institution, likely depict Lusat himself in his prime, serving as both inspiration and reminder of the heights that dedicated magical study could achieve. To see these portraits is to glimpse the man Lusat once was, brilliant, ambitious, and respected throughout the magical community. As a Grand Master at the Academy, Lusat held one of the highest positions possible within the institution. Grand Masters were not merely teachers or administrators. They were the custodians of magical knowledge itself, responsible for preserving the accumulated wisdom of generations, while also pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The position required not only exceptional skill and knowledge, but also wisdom, judgment, and the ability to guide younger practitioners away from dangerous paths. Yet it was precisely this position of authority and respect that would prove to be Lusat's downfall. His status gave him access to the most advanced magical texts and theories, including references to the primeval current, that forbidden wellspring of cosmic power that existed beyond the normal boundaries of glintstone sorcery. For a mind like Lusat's, forever curious and always seeking to push beyond established limitations, the primeval current represented the ultimate challenge, the final frontier of magical understanding. The Academy's library contained fragmentary references to this cosmic force, tantalizing hints of a power that predated the establishment of conventional magic. Ancient texts spoke of an astrologer who had glimpsed this current in ages past, witnessing a sight so profound that it caused the star's amber to rain down upon the land, giving birth to glintstone magic itself. For Lusat, these references were not warnings, but invitations, challenges to be met rather than boundaries to be respected. His research into the primeval current was conducted in secret, for even his elevated position would not have protected him from censure had his investigations been discovered. The Academy, despite its dedication to magical learning, recognized that some knowledge was too dangerous to pursue. The primeval current represented power beyond mortal comprehension, forces that could reshape reality itself or destroy those who sought to understand them. But for Lusat, the risk only made the pursuit more compelling. Working alone in his private chambers, Lusat began to piece together the scattered references to the primeval current, drawing connections between ancient texts and astronomical observations. He studied the movements of the stars with new intensity, searching for patterns that might reveal the cosmic processes described in the forbidden writings. His nights were spent in meditation, attempting to expand his consciousness beyond the normal limits of human perception, reaching out toward the cosmic forces that lay beyond the veil of ordinary reality. The breakthrough, when it came, was not gradual but sudden and devastating. In a moment of perfect attunement, Lusat's consciousness touched the primeval current and was immediately overwhelmed by what he experienced. The vision that unfolded before his mind's eye was beyond anything he had imagined. He witnessed the final moments of a great star cluster, saw entire solar systems dying in spectacular displays of cosmic violence, felt the weight of eons as stellar matter collapsed into itself, and was born anew in endless cycles of creation and destruction. But the human mind, no matter how brilliant, was never meant to process such cosmic truths directly. The vision that granted Lusat his ultimate insight also shattered his sanity, breaking his consciousness like glass under impossible pressure. The knowledge he gained came at the cost of his humanity, transforming him from a respected scholar into something else entirely, a being caught between mortal existence and cosmic understanding, forever changed by what he had seen. The immediate aftermath of this revelation was catastrophic. Lusat's behavior became erratic, his teachings took on disturbing undertones, and his research began to focus obsessively on themes of stellar death and cosmic dissolution. His colleagues noticed the change, but could not understand its source. The brilliant scholar they had known seemed to be fading away, replaced by someone haunted by terrible knowledge. It was during this period that Lusat began developing the sorcery that would become his legacy. Drawing upon the cosmic vision that had broken his mind, he crafted Stars of Ruin as a manifestation of what he had witnessed. The death of stellar matter translated into magical form. The spell was his attempt to share his revelation with the world, to make others understand the terrible beauty he had perceived in the cosmic current. But the Academy was not ready for such revelations. As Lusat's condition became more apparent, and his research more obviously dangerous, pressure mounted for action to be taken. The other masters began to question whether his pursuits had crossed the line from legitimate inquiry into forbidden knowledge. Whispers circulated about the true nature of his work and the source of his increasingly disturbing insights. The situation became untenable when Lusat's research attracted the attention of his colleague and fellow Grand Master, Azur. The two had long been friends and collaborators, but Azur's own investigations into the primeval current created a crisis that the Academy could no longer ignore. When both Grand Masters were discovered to be pursuing forbidden knowledge, the institution faced a choice between protecting its most brilliant scholars and maintaining its principles of safe magical practice. The Academy chose its principles, and both Lusat and Azur were exiled from the institution they had helped to found. For Lusat, this exile was not merely a professional setback, but a personal catastrophe. The Academy had been his life's work, his contribution to the advancement of magical knowledge. To be cast out from the place he had helped to create was a betrayal that cut deeper than any physical wound. In his exile, Lusat returned to his birthplace of Sellia, but he was no longer the brilliant young scholar who had once left to seek his fortune at the Academy. The man who came home was broken, consumed by knowledge too terrible to bear, haunted by visions of cosmic death that played endlessly in his shattered mind. He sought solitude, locking himself away from the world that could not understand what he had become. Yet, even in his broken state, Lusat's work continued. The spell that would become Stars of Ruin was refined and perfected during his exile, becoming both his masterpiece and his curse. Through this sorcery, he could share a fraction of his cosmic vision with others, forcing them to confront the same terrible truths that had destroyed his sanity. It was his final gift to the world of magic, and his ultimate revenge upon those who had cast him out. Chapter 3. The Primeval Current, Source of Forbidden Power. To comprehend the true significance of Stars of Ruin and the tragedy of its creator, we must venture into the most dangerous realm of magical understanding, the primeval current itself. This cosmic force represents the ultimate source of glintstone sorcery, a wellspring of power so ancient and terrible that it predates the very foundations of organized magical learning. It is simultaneously the origin of all stellar magic and the abyss that consumes those who gaze too deeply into its mysteries. The primeval current is not merely another magical tradition or school of thought. It is described as a torrent of glintstone flowing from a distant star cluster, often likened to a celestial procession of stars. This imagery evokes something far grander and more terrifying than any earthly force. We are speaking of cosmic processes that span light years and encompass the birth and death of entire stellar systems. The current is not contained within any single location, but flows throughout the universe itself, connecting all stellar phenomena in a vast web of cosmic energy. The origins of humanity's knowledge of the primeval current stretch back to the most ancient periods of the Lands Between's history. During an age when fire giants ruled Flame Peak, an ancient astrologer on the mountaintops of the giants perceived this cosmic force for the first time. The sight of the primeval current was so overwhelming that it caused a physical manifestation in the material world. The stars' amber rained down upon the lands between, introducing glintstone and glintstone sorcery to mortal understanding. This foundational event is crucial to understanding the nature of the primeval current. It suggests that the force is not merely observable, but interactive, that sufficiently sensitive individuals can not only perceive it, but actually cause it to manifest in physical reality. The amber that fell from the stars became the basis for all glintstone magic, meaning that every sorcery practiced at the Academy of Raya Lucaria ultimately derives from this single moment of cosmic revelation. The description of this primeval sorcery as founding rain of stars reinforces its foundational importance. This is not simply another spell among many, but the very first magical working that established the principles upon which all subsequent stellar magic would be based. The ancient astrologer's glimpse of the primeval current literally created the magical traditions that would flourish for millennia to come. Yet the primeval current is not merely a source of creative power. It is also intimately connected with destruction and dissolution. The cosmic mysteries it reveals bewitch those who gaze into the current, often driving them to the brink of despair. This dual nature, creative and destructive, illuminating and maddening, is fundamental to understanding why the study of the primeval current is forbidden. Azur's experience with the primeval current provides a counterpoint to Lusat's revelation. When Azur glimpsed into this cosmic force, he saw darkness, not the stellar death that traumatized Lusat, but something even more fundamental and terrifying. He perceived the abyss that lies between stars, the vast emptiness that separates all celestial bodies. This vision left him both bewitched and fearful, understanding that the universe is far more empty than full, that the void between stars is not mere absence, but an active force of negation. Both masters' experiences reveal different aspects of the primeval current's nature. Lusat witnessed endings, the death of stellar clusters, and the dissolution of cosmic structures. Azure perceived beginnings, or rather, the absence that precedes all beginnings, the void from which all matter emerges and to which it ultimately returns. Together, their visions suggest that the primeval current encompasses the full cycle of cosmic existence, from the birth of stars to their ultimate dissolution. The forbidden nature of studying the primeval current is not arbitrary academic policy, but recognition of its genuinely dangerous character. Those who cleave to its teachings engage in practices that would horrify conventional sorcerers. The Graven Mass Talisman tells us that adherents of the primeval current view collecting sorcerers to fashion them into the seeds of stars as merely another path of scientific inquiry. This practice involves literally transforming living beings into cosmic phenomena, erasing their individual existence in service of some greater astronomical purpose. This horrific transformation is not metaphorical, but quite literal. Throughout the lands between, we can find graven masses, twisted amalgamations of multiple sorcerers who have been fused together into grotesque forms. These beings represent the ultimate expression of primeval current philosophy, the belief that individual existence is merely a stepping stone toward cosmic transcendence, that mortal consciousness must be sacrificed to achieve true understanding of stellar processes. Sorceress Sellen, one of the few modern practitioners of primeval current sorcery, embodies this philosophy in her relentless pursuit of knowledge. She sees herself and her fellow sorcerers as fallen children of the stars, who must regain their cosmic heritage through any means necessary. Her willingness to transform herself and others into graven masses demonstrates the seductive power of the primeval current. It offers ultimate knowledge and cosmic significance in exchange for everything that makes one human. The Academy of Raya Lucaria's ban on primeval current research was not born from fear of competition or jealousy of its practitioners' power. It was a desperate attempt to protect both the institution and the wider magical community from forces that could unravel the very foundations of organized learning. When scholars begin to view their colleagues as raw material for cosmic experiments, the entire enterprise of education becomes impossible. The three known primeval current sorceries, Comet Azure, Founding Rain of Stars, and Stars of Ruin, each represent different aspects of this cosmic force. Founding Rain of Stars embodies its creative potential, calling down the amber that gives birth to new magical possibilities. Comet Azure represents its transformative power, channeling stellar energy in a focused beam that can reshape matter itself. But Stars of Ruin is unique in that it embraces the current's destructive aspect, manifesting the death of stellar clusters as a weapon of devastating power. The fact that even Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, uses primeval sorceries during her boss fight despite the Academy's ban on such practices reveals the seductive nature of this knowledge. Even those who officially prohibit the study of the primeval current find themselves unable to resist its power when pressed to their limits. The forbidden knowledge calls to all serious practitioners of stellar magic, promising insights that conventional learning cannot provide. This cosmic force is also intimately connected with the mysterious crystallians, inorganic beings that cleave close to the ideals of the primeval current. These entities, composed entirely of living crystal, represent what primeval current practitioners hope to become: beings that have transcended the limitations of organic existence to achieve a more fundamental connection with cosmic processes. Their faint cognition is described as the wisdom of stone, suggesting that they possess understanding that goes beyond normal intellectual comprehension. The relationship between the primeval current and these crystalline beings hints at a form of existence that transcends normal categories of life and death, organic and inorganic. individual and cosmic. It suggests that the ultimate goal of primeval current study is not merely to gain power, but to fundamentally transform one's nature, to become something that can perceive and interact with cosmic forces directly, rather than through the medium of spells and rituals. The primeval current also connects to the broader themes of stellar influence that run throughout Elden Ring's cosmology. The first star to arrive in the lands between carried Meteor, Mother of Fingers, while a golden star later brought the Elden Beast. The relationship between these cosmic arrivals and the primeval current suggests that the force is not merely a magical phenomenon, but a fundamental aspect of how the universe operates, a cosmic principle that governs the movement of celestial bodies and the flow of power between different realms of existence. Understanding the primeval current requires recognizing that it operates on a scale that dwarfs human comprehension. It is not simply a more powerful form of magic, but a glimpse into the actual processes that govern the cosmos itself. To study it is to attempt to understand forces that shape the destiny of entire star systems, to perceive patterns that span galactic timescales, to comprehend relationships between matter and energy that exist on a level far beyond normal human experience. This is why exposure to the primeval current is so devastating to those who encounter it. The human mind, evolved to deal with immediate threats and local environments, cannot process information that operates on cosmic scales without suffering fundamental damage. The knowledge gained is genuine and profound, but it comes at the cost of one's ability to function as a normal mortal being. For Lusat, the primeval current represented the ultimate challenge and the ultimate truth. His vision of the dying star cluster was not simply an astronomical observation, but a direct experience of cosmic death, a moment in which he felt the weight of stellar dissolution as if it were happening to his own body. The spell he created from this experience represents his attempt to translate cosmic truth into a form that other mortals could comprehend, even if only briefly and at great cost to themselves. Chapter 4. The Corruption of Brilliance. Lusat's Transformation. The transformation of Master Lusat from respected scholar to crystallized husk represents one of the most profound tragedies in Elden Ring's lore. His metamorphosis was not sudden but gradual, a slow corruption that began with his fateful glimpse into the primeval current and culminated in his complete loss of humanity. To understand this transformation is to comprehend the true cost of forbidden knowledge and the price that even the greatest minds must pay when they venture beyond the boundaries of mortal understanding. The initial stages of Lusat's corruption were subtle, manifesting first as changes in his personality and teaching methods rather than physical alterations. Colleagues at the Academy began to notice that his lectures took on increasingly abstract and disturbing themes. Where once he had spoken of meteors in terms of their magical properties and practical applications, he now focused obsessively on themes of stellar death and cosmic dissolution. His star charts became increasingly complex, mapping not just the movements of celestial bodies, but their eventual fate, the inevitable moment when each star would exhaust its fuel and collapse into darkness. Students who attended Lusat's seminars during this period reported feeling deeply unsettled by his presentations. He would speak for hours about the vast scales of cosmic time, describing how entire civilizations could rise and fall in the brief moment between a star's birth and death. His mathematical calculations, once focused on practical magical applications, now dealt with forces so immense that they rendered human concerns insignificant. The brilliant teacher who had once inspired generations of students was becoming something alien and frightening. The first physical manifestations of his transformation appeared as small growths of blue crystal emerging from his skin. These crystalline formations were not random, but appeared to follow patterns related to his nervous system, as if the forbidden knowledge he had absorbed was literally crystallizing within his body. The process was apparently painless. Or perhaps Lusat was simply beyond caring about physical discomfort, as his consciousness became increasingly absorbed in cosmic contemplation. As the crystallization progressed, Lusat's behavior became more erratic and his isolation more complete. He began to spend entire days in meditation, sitting motionless as he attempted to maintain contact with the primeval current that had granted him his terrible vision. Colleagues who tried to check on him found him unresponsive, his eyes vacant and staring as if he were seeing something far beyond the physical world around him. The Academy's medical scholars attempted to understand and halt the crystallization process, but their efforts proved futile. The transformation was not a disease that could be cured, but a fundamental alteration of Lusat's essential nature. The knowledge he had gained from the primeval current was literally rewriting his physical existence, replacing organic matter with crystalline structures that could better channel and contain cosmic forces. During this period, Lusat's research became increasingly focused on developing what would eventually become Stars of Ruin. The spell emerged not as a deliberate creation, but as an inevitable expression of his transformed consciousness. Unable to contain the cosmic knowledge within his failing mortal mind, he began to externalize it in the form of sorcery, creating magical structures that could hold fragments of his terrible revelation. The development of Stars of Ruin was itself a form of corruption. Each time Lusat channeled the cosmic forces he had witnessed, the spell became more refined, but his humanity diminished further. The 12 dark shooting stars that comprised the spell were not arbitrary constructs, but direct manifestations of his memory of stellar death. Each projectile carried within it a fragment of his cosmic vision, a piece of the terrible knowledge that was consuming his mind. As word of Lusat's conditions spread throughout the Academy, it became clear that he was not the only scholar investigating forbidden topics. His colleague and fellow Grandmaster Azur was conducting similar research and showing similar signs of transformation. The revelation that two of the Academy's most respected figures were pursuing dangerous knowledge created a crisis that threatened the institution's very foundations. The Academy's response to this crisis reveals the depth of fear that the primeval current inspired even among the most learned magical practitioners. Rather than attempting to help their transformed colleagues or to understand the nature of their research, the institution chose exile. This decision was not made lightly. Both Lusat and Azur had been instrumental in establishing the Academy's reputation and had contributed immeasurably to the advancement of magical knowledge. But the risk they represented was deemed too great to tolerate. The exile was devastating for Lusat on multiple levels. Not only was he cast out from the institution he had helped to found, but he was separated from the resources and colleagues that might have helped him understand or cope with his transformation. Forced to return to his birthplace of Sellia, he found himself truly alone for the first time in his adult life, with only his fragmenting consciousness and his developing spell for company. The final stages of Lusat's transformation took place in the isolation of the Sellia hideaway. This hidden cave, sealed behind magical barriers that could only be opened with specific keys, became both his refuge and his prison. Here, away from the judgment and fear of others, he could complete his metamorphosis without interference. The crystallization process accelerated dramatically during this period. The blue growths that had begun as small patches spread to cover most of his body, replacing skin and muscle with living crystal. Most dramatically, his brain and skull were entirely replaced by his signature olivinous glintstone crown, a transformation that completed his evolution from mortal scholar to something beyond human understanding. This final transformation was not merely physical, but represented a fundamental change in the nature of his consciousness. The crown that replaced his brain was not simply crystalline matter, but a living repository of cosmic knowledge, a structure capable of processing the vast scales of information that his mortal mind had been unable to contain. In becoming this hybrid of organic and crystalline matter, Lusat achieved the connection with cosmic forces that he had always sought. but at the cost of everything that had made him human. The process left him in a near inorganic state, alive but barely recognizable as the scholar he had once been. His body became a vessel for channeling cosmic power rather than a means of individual expression. When the Tarnished eventually discovers him in the Sellia hideaway, he is described as almost immobile, covered in blue crystals, and capable of only the most basic interaction. Yet even in this transformed state, Lusat retained enough of his original purpose to complete his great work. The presentation of Stars of Ruin to the Tarnished represents his final act as a teacher, sharing the ultimate lesson he had learned through his terrible journey. The spell itself becomes his legacy, a crystallized fragment of cosmic knowledge that others can access without undergoing the same devastating transformation. The tragedy of Lusat's transformation lies not just in what he lost, but in what he gained. His journey into cosmic consciousness was not ultimately meaningless. Through his sacrifice, he achieved genuine understanding of forces that operate on scales beyond normal human comprehension. His spell provides proof that he successfully touched something vast and terrible, that his glimpse into the primeval current was authentic rather than mere delusion. But the price he paid raises profound questions about the value of knowledge itself. Was the cosmic insight he gained worth the loss of his humanity? Did his transformation represent transcendence or destruction? These questions have no easy answers, and perhaps that uncertainty is itself part of the spell's legacy. A reminder that some forms of understanding come at costs that cannot be calculated in advance. The physical remnants of Lusat's transformation continue to serve the magical community even after his consciousness has moved beyond normal human concerns. His crystallized crown and staff become powerful tools for other practitioners, allowing them to channel fragments of cosmic power without undergoing the full transformation that he experienced. In this way, his sacrifice continues to benefit others, providing access to primeval knowledge while protecting them from its most devastating effects. When Sorceress Sellen eventually relocates Lusat's body to the Academy as part of her plan to hone the primeval current, she describes the goal as allowing the fallen children of the stars to beam with brilliance once again. This poetic language reveals the seductive appeal of the path Lusat took, the promise that embracing cosmic knowledge will restore humanity to its proper place within the celestial order. Yet Lusat's fate serves as a warning about the reality of such promises. His brilliance indeed increased beyond measure, but it is the cold brilliance of crystalline matter rather than the warm light of human achievement. He became a conduit for cosmic forces rather than an individual consciousness capable of appreciating the beauty and terror of what he had discovered. His transformation represents the ultimate expression of the scholar's dilemma, the tension between the desire for knowledge and the need to remain human enough to value what is learned. Chapter 5. The Academy of Raya Lucaria, Foundations and Forbidden Knowledge. The Academy of Raya Lucaria stands as the pinnacle of magical learning in the lands between, a magnificent institution that has shaped the development of sorcery for generations. Yet beneath its scholarly facade lies a darker truth. The Academy was founded by the very same primeval sorcerers whose dangerous pursuits would eventually lead to their exile and transformation. The relationship between the Academy and the forbidden knowledge of the primeval current reveals the complex tensions between institutional learning and the relentless drive for discovery that characterizes the greatest magical minds. Lusat and Azur were not merely teachers at the Academy, they were its founding fathers, the brilliant scholars whose vision and expertise established the principles upon which all subsequent magical education would be based. This fact makes their eventual exile all the more tragic and complex. The institution that cast them out was, in many ways, their own creation, a manifestation of their early beliefs about how magical knowledge should be preserved, transmitted, and developed. During the Academy's formative years, both Lusat and Azur established formal schools of study that bore their names and reflected their particular areas of expertise. Lusat's Olivinus Conspectus focused on meteoric phenomena and stellar magic, providing students with systematic methods for understanding and channeling celestial forces. Azur's Carolus Conspectus, described as the oldest and most venerable lineage of study at the Academy, concentrated on the mysteries of comets and the fundamental principles of glintstone sorcery. These conspectuses were not merely academic divisions, but represented different philosophical approaches to magical learning. The Olivinus Conspectus reflected Lusat's methodical, observational approach to understanding cosmic phenomena. Students in this tradition learned to study the movements of celestial bodies, to calculate the trajectories of meteors, and to understand the mathematical relationships that governed stellar processes. It was rigorous, systematic training that emphasized precision and empirical observation. The Carolus Conspectus, by contrast, focused on the more theoretical aspects of magical practice. Azur's students delved into the fundamental nature of glintstone itself, exploring the philosophical implications of channeling stellar energy and investigating the deeper principles that made sorcery possible. This tradition produced scholars who were not content merely to cast spells, but who sought to understand the underlying mechanisms that made magic function. Both conspectuses shared a common thread, an emphasis on pushing beyond established boundaries and questioning accepted limitations. This intellectual curiosity, which had made Lusat and Azur such effective founders and teachers, would eventually lead them toward the dangerous territories that resulted in their transformation and exile. The very qualities that made them excellent educators also made them susceptible to the lure of forbidden knowledge. The portraits that adorn the Academy's halls serve as reminders of this complex legacy. Images of both Lusat and Azur appear throughout the institution, depicted in their prime as respected scholars and teachers. These portraits represent not just artistic decoration, but institutional memory. The Academy's way of honoring its founders while simultaneously serving as warnings about the dangers of unchecked curiosity. The Academy's library contains vast collections of magical texts, including fragmentary references to the primeval current that would eventually prove so fateful for its founders. These texts were not originally considered dangerous, but were valued as historical curiosities and theoretical frameworks for understanding the deepest principles of stellar magic. The fact that they were openly available to grandmasters like Lusat and Azur reflects the Academy's early confidence in its ability to contain and contextualize even the most challenging magical concepts. The gradual accumulation of primeval current references in the Academy's collection represents a classic example of how institutions can inadvertently create the conditions for their own crisis. Each individual text, taken alone, might have seemed harmless or purely theoretical. But when studied together by minds of exceptional brilliance and insatiable curiosity, these fragmentary references began to form a coherent picture of forces beyond normal magical understanding. The Academy's governance structure during this period was relatively informal, with Grand Masters enjoying considerable autonomy in their research and teaching. This freedom was seen as essential for fostering innovation and discovery, allowing the institution's most brilliant minds to pursue whatever lines of inquiry seemed most promising. However, this same autonomy also meant that there were few mechanisms for monitoring or restraining research that might be moving in dangerous directions. The crisis precipitated by Lusat and Azur's transformation forced the Academy to confront fundamental questions about the nature and limits of magical education. Should there be boundaries to scholarly inquiry? How could an institution dedicated to advancing knowledge justify prohibiting certain types of research? What responsibility did the Academy bear for the consequences of investigations it had permitted or even encouraged? The decision to exile both Grand Masters was not made lightly or quickly. Records suggest that extensive debates took place among the remaining faculty about how to respond to their colleagues' condition. Some argued for attempting to help or cure the transformed scholars, while others insisted that their very presence posed an unacceptable risk to students and other faculty members. The final decision to exile them represented a pragmatic compromise, acknowledging that they could not be allowed to remain while also avoiding the moral complications of more extreme measures. The aftermath of this crisis led to significant changes in academy policy and governance. The study of primeval current materials was formally banned, and new oversight mechanisms were established to monitor faculty research. The informal autonomy that had previously characterized Grand Master positions was curtailed in favor of more structured accountability. These changes helped ensure institutional stability, but came at the cost of the intellectual freedom that had made the Academy's early years so innovative and productive. The ban on primeval current research created a complex dynamic within the Academy's scholarly community. While officially prohibited, knowledge of the current continued to circulate through unofficial channels. Advanced students and faculty members were aware of its existence and significance, even if they could not openly study it. This underground awareness created a tension between official policy and scholarly curiosity that would persist throughout the Academy's subsequent history. Sorceress Sellen's later pursuit of primeval current knowledge demonstrates the continuing appeal of these forbidden studies. Despite being fully aware of what had happened to Lusat and Azur, she could not resist the lure of cosmic understanding. Her eventual transformation into a graven mass serves as evidence that the Academy's ban, while prudent, could not eliminate the fundamental appeal of ultimate knowledge to those possessed of exceptional magical ability. The Academy's relationship with the Cairhien royal family added another layer of complexity to these issues. When Queen Renala gained control of the institution, she brought with her a different set of priorities and perspectives on magical education. The Cairhien's focus on lunar magic and their alliance with the Crystallians created new research directions while further marginalizing primeval current studies. Renala's own use of primeval sorceries during her boss encounter reveals the persistent influence of this forbidden knowledge even within the Academy's official leadership. Despite having banned such research, she herself had clearly studied and mastered at least some primeval techniques. This contradiction suggests that the prohibition on primeval current studies was as much about controlling access to dangerous knowledge as it was about eliminating it entirely. The Academy's current state reflects the long-term consequences of these early crises. While it remains a center of magical learning, it has lost much of the innovative spirit that characterized its founding years. The emphasis on safety and institutional stability, while understandable given the Academy's history, has created an environment that prioritizes preservation of existing knowledge over the pursuit of new discoveries. The presence of graven masses within the Academy's current structure serves as a constant reminder of the dangers associated with primeval current research. These twisted amalgamations of multiple sorcerers represent the ultimate expression of the forbidden knowledge that Lusat and Azur first explored. Their existence within the Academy grounds suggests that the institution has never fully escaped the shadow of its founder's transformation. Modern students at the Academy learn their craft within this complex historical context. They study the magical principles established by Lusat and Azur while being warned against following their founder's ultimate path. This creates a fundamental tension within magical education. How can students be taught to push the boundaries of knowledge while being protected from the consequences of pushing too far? The Academy's library still contains the texts that led to the original crisis, though they are now kept in restricted sections accessible only to the most senior faculty. The decision to preserve rather than destroy these materials reflects a recognition that the knowledge they contain, however dangerous, represents genuine insights into the nature of reality. The challenge lies in finding ways to study and understand these concepts without repeating the devastating mistakes of the past. The Academy's relationship with the broader magical community has also been shaped by its founder's legacy. Other magical traditions, view the institution with a mixture of respect and wariness, acknowledging its contributions to magical learning, while remaining conscious of the dangers associated with its history. This complex reputation has influenced how the Academy recruits students and faculty, with many of the most ambitious magical practitioners being drawn to the institution precisely because of its connection to forbidden knowledge. The economic and political aspects of the Academy's operation have likewise been influenced by the primeval current crisis. The institution requires significant resources to maintain its collections, facilities, and faculty, but its history makes some potential patrons nervous about supporting research that might prove dangerous. This has led to a complex relationship with the Kyrian royal family and other political entities, with funding and support often contingent on assurances about the nature and scope of ongoing research. The Academy's physical structure reflects its historical evolution from innovative research institution to carefully regulated educational establishment. The original buildings, designed to facilitate open inquiry and collaboration, have been modified with new security measures and restricted access areas. The architecture itself tells the story of an institution grappling with the tension between scholarly freedom and institutional responsibility. Despite these challenges, the Academy continues to produce accomplished sorcerers who contribute significantly to the magical traditions of the lands between. The rigorous training provided by the institution ensures that graduates possess both technical skill and theoretical understanding. However, the most ambitious among them often find themselves drawn to the same forbidden territories that claimed the Academy's founders, suggesting that the cycle of discovery and destruction may be an inevitable aspect of magical advancement. The legacy of Lusat and Azur within the Academy is thus profoundly ambivalent. They are remembered as brilliant founders whose vision created one of the world's great institutions of learning. Yet they are also cautionary tales about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the pursuit of knowledge without regard for consequences. Their portraits in the Academy halls serve simultaneously as inspiration and warning, reminding students and faculty alike of both the heights that magical study can achieve and the depths to which it can fall. The question of whether the Academy's current approach represents wisdom or cowardice remains open to debate. Some argue that the restrictions on primeval current research represent necessary safeguards that protect both individuals and society from forces beyond mortal comprehension. Others contend that these limitations represent a betrayal of the Academy's founding principles and a surrender to fear rather than an embrace of understanding. This tension between safety and discovery continues to shape the Academy's evolution and will likely influence its future development. As new generations of scholars emerge, they must navigate the complex legacy of their institution's founders while finding their own paths toward magical understanding. The story of Lusat and his creation of Stars of Ruin serves as both inspiration and warning for these future generations, a reminder that the pursuit of ultimate knowledge always comes with ultimate risks. Chapter 6. Sellia, the town of hidden sorcery. To truly understand Master Lusat and the environment that shaped him, we must delve into the mysteries of Sellia, the town of sorcery that served as both his birthplace and his final refuge. This settlement in the eastern Khalid wilds represents a unique fusion of martial prowess and magical learning, a place where the boundaries between academic study and practical application were never clearly defined. Sellia's hidden nature and secretive practices created the perfect environment for nurturing the kind of mind that would eventually push beyond all accepted boundaries in pursuit of cosmic truth. Sellia is not merely another magical community, but a town built around the principle of concealment and misdirection. Its most distinctive feature is the network of invisible barriers that crisscross its streets, barriers that can only be revealed through specific magical means. These obstacles are not defensive measures in the traditional sense, but tests of magical competence, ensuring that only those with sufficient knowledge and skill can navigate the town's hidden pathways. The very architecture of Sellia speaks to a community that values secrets and esoteric knowledge above conventional forms of social organization. Streets that appear to lead nowhere suddenly open into hidden courtyards when the proper magical techniques are applied. Buildings that seem abandoned reveal active chambers filled with magical apparatus when approached with the correct incantations. The entire settlement functions as a living puzzle, challenging visitors to demonstrate their magical understanding at every turn. This environment of constant magical challenge and hidden knowledge would have been formative for young Lusat. Growing up in a place where magic was not merely studied, but lived as a daily reality, would have instilled in him a deep appreciation for the practical applications of sorcery. More importantly, it would have taught him that the most valuable knowledge is often the most carefully concealed, that true understanding requires the ability to perceive beyond surface appearances. The inhabitants of Sellia are described as magic-practicing assassins, a combination that might seem contradictory, but actually reveals the town's sophisticated understanding of how magical knowledge can be applied. These are not crude killers who happen to know a few spells, but highly trained practitioners who have integrated martial and magical arts into seamless disciplines. Their approach to combat emphasizes stealth, precision, and the strategic application of magical techniques to achieve objectives that conventional warriors could never accomplish. This integration of magic and martial arts reflects a philosophical approach that would have deeply influenced Lusat's development as a scholar. Rather than viewing magic as an abstract intellectual exercise, the people of Sellia understood it as a tool for reshaping reality according to one's will. This practical orientation would have taught Lusat to think about magical principles, not just in theoretical terms, but in terms of their concrete applications and consequences. The magical traditions practiced in Sellia appear to emphasize illusion, concealment, and spatial manipulation, techniques that require both technical skill and creative thinking. The invisible barriers that protect the town are not simple manifestations of magical force, but complex constructs that selectively respond to different stimuli. Creating and maintaining such sophisticated magical architecture requires understanding of principles that go far beyond basic spellcasting. The town's location in the Hallowed Wilds is also significant for understanding its character and influence. Hallowed is a harsh, dangerous region where survival requires both skill and cunning. The magical practitioners of Sellia could not afford to pursue knowledge for its own sake, but had to ensure that their studies had practical value for navigating the challenges of their environment. This emphasis on practical application would have taught Lusat to value magical techniques that produce tangible results. The presence of powerful magical artifacts throughout Sellia demonstrates the depth of the town's magical traditions. Lusat's own staff, which can be found sealed within the town, represents one of the most powerful magical implements in the lands between. The fact that such artifacts are created and maintained within the community suggests a level of magical expertise that rivals or exceeds that found in more famous institutions like the Academy of Raya Lucaria. The sealing of Lusat's staff behind magical barriers, guarded by formidable opponents, reveals another aspect of Sellia's character. Its understanding of the need to protect dangerous knowledge from those who lack the wisdom to use it properly. The Nox Swordstress and Nox Priest who guard the staff are not random guardians, but carefully chosen protectors whose presence indicates the artifact's significance and potential danger. This protective approach to magical knowledge would have been another formative influence on Lusat's development. Growing up in a community that understood the need to conceal and protect dangerous magical techniques would have prepared him for his later role as a Grand Master at the Academy, where similar decisions about knowledge access and distribution had to be made on a regular basis. The town's relationship with the broader magical community of the lands between is complex and somewhat ambiguous. While Sellia clearly maintains connections with other centers of learning, as evidenced by Lusat's ability to gain admission to the Academy, it also preserves a distinctive identity and approach to magical practice. This balance between engagement and independence reflects a sophisticated understanding of how to participate in larger intellectual communities while maintaining local traditions and autonomy. The magical techniques developed in Sellia often emphasize subtlety and indirection rather than overwhelming displays of power. The town's assassins are skilled in techniques that allow them to achieve their objectives without attracting unwanted attention, and this preference for subtle effectiveness over dramatic demonstration reflects a mature understanding of how magical power can be most efficiently applied. This emphasis on subtlety and effectiveness would have influenced Lusat's approach to magical research throughout his career. Even his most ambitious projects, including his investigation of the primeval current, were conducted with careful attention to discretion and security. His ability to pursue forbidden knowledge for years without detection speaks to training in concealment and misdirection that likely began in his youth in Sellia. The town's magical traditions also emphasize the importance of understanding spatial relationships and dimensional boundaries. The invisible barriers that protect Sellia demonstrate sophisticated understanding of how magical forces can be used to manipulate space itself, creating pockets of altered reality within the normal world. This expertise in spatial magic would have provided Lusat with conceptual tools that proved crucial for his later investigations of cosmic phenomena. When Lusat returned to Sellia following his exile from the Academy, he was seeking more than just refuge. He was returning to a community that understood the value of hidden knowledge and the necessity of protecting dangerous secrets from those unprepared to handle them. His decision to seal himself within the Sellia hideaway can be understood as an extension of the town's traditional approach to managing magical risks. The Sellia hideaway itself represents the ultimate expression of the town's philosophy of concealment and protection. This hidden cave, accessible only to those possessing specific magical keys, provides a space where dangerous magical work can be conducted without risk to the broader community. Its existence suggests that the town's founders anticipated the need for such facilities and planned accordingly. The magical seals that protect the hideaway are not simple locks, but complex magical constructs that require specific knowledge and techniques to bypass. The Sellian seal breaker needed to access Lusat's chamber is not just a physical key, but a magical artifact that demonstrates understanding of the principles underlying the town's protective systems. Its creation and distribution represent careful decisions about who should have access to the dangerous knowledge contained within. The hideaway's location and design also reflect Sellia's understanding of how to balance accessibility with security. While the chamber is deeply hidden and heavily protected, it remains accessible to those with legitimate need and proper authorization. This balance between protection and availability ensures that valuable knowledge is preserved while preventing its misuse by unqualified practitioners. The presence of other magical practitioners and artifacts within the hideaway suggests that Lusat was not the only scholar who required such secure facilities. The town's willingness to provide and maintain these resources demonstrates a long-standing commitment to supporting advanced magical research while managing its associated risks. The relationship between Sellia and the broader Caelid region also provides important context for understanding the town's character. Caelid is a place where magical experimentation has had dramatic and often catastrophic consequences, as evidenced by the scarlet rot that pervades much of the region. Sellia's survival and prosperity in such an environment speaks to its inhabitants' skill in managing magical risks and avoiding the pitfalls that have claimed other communities. The town's magical defenses extend beyond the invisible barriers to include more subtle forms of protection. The very layout of the streets and buildings incorporates magical principles that help to contain and redirect dangerous energies. This integration of protective magic into the town's fundamental structure demonstrates a level of planning and foresight that speaks to generations of accumulated wisdom about magical safety. The economic and social structures of Sellia also reflect its unique character as a community of magical assassins. The town's prosperity appears to derive not from conventional trade or agriculture, but from the specialized services provided by its inhabitants. This economic model requires maintaining relationships with clients throughout the lands between, while preserving the secrecy that makes their services valuable. The training and education systems that produced scholars like Lusat represent another aspect of Sellia's distinctive character. Unlike the formal academic structures found at institutions like the Academy, Sellia's approach to magical education appears to emphasize apprenticeship relationships and practical experience. This more personalized approach allows for the development of highly individualized magical techniques, while ensuring that students receive careful guidance from experienced practitioners. The town's magical traditions also appear to place strong emphasis on personal responsibility and ethical conduct. The integration of assassination techniques with magical training could easily lead to abuse and corruption, but Sellia's continued prosperity suggests that its inhabitants have developed effective means of maintaining discipline and preventing the misuse of their abilities. This emphasis on responsibility and ethics would have been crucial for Lusat's development as both a scholar and a person. His later career at the Academy, despite ending in exile, was marked by genuine dedication to advancing magical knowledge and helping students achieve their potential. This commitment to scholarly values likely reflects training received during his youth in Sellia. The ultimate tragedy of Lusat's story is that his return to Sellia, rather than providing healing or redemption, became the setting for his final transformation. The town that had nurtured his development and provided him with the tools for magical excellence could not save him from the consequences of his cosmic revelation. This failure reflects not any inadequacy in Sellia's traditions, but rather the unprecedented nature of the forces Lusat had encountered. The preservation of Lusat's legacy within the Sellia hideaway represents the town's ongoing commitment to protecting and maintaining dangerous magical knowledge. By ensuring that his transformed body and his greatest spell remain accessible to future scholars, Sellia continues to fulfill its traditional role as guardian of esoteric wisdom. The careful protocols surrounding access to this knowledge demonstrate that the town has learned from Lusat's experience while continuing to support the advancement of magical understanding. Chapter 7. The Quest for Stars of Ruin. Following Sellen's path. The journey to obtain Stars of Ruin is not merely a treasure hunt, but a pilgrimage through the intertwined fates of the Academy's greatest minds. Through Sorceress Sellen's questline, we trace the connections between ambition and tragedy, between the pursuit of ultimate knowledge and the price that such pursuit demands. Sellen herself represents a direct continuation of the primeval current tradition, a scholar whose obsession with forbidden knowledge mirrors that of her predecessors while adding her own unique perspective to the quest for cosmic understanding. Sellen's initial encounter with the Tarnished takes place in the depths beneath Waypoint Ruins, where she has been imprisoned as a form of magical punishment for her heretical research. Her confinement is not merely physical, but represents a symbolic exile from the magical community that once embraced her talents. The underground chamber where she resides serves as both prison and laboratory, a space where she can continue her forbidden studies while being isolated from those who might be corrupted by her influence. The magic that binds Sellen to this location is complex and multifaceted, involving not just physical restraints, but magical compulsions that prevent her from leaving her underground sanctuary. This imprisonment represents the Academy's attempt to contain her dangerous knowledge without resorting to more extreme measures. By keeping her alive but isolated, the institution hopes to prevent the spread of her heretical ideas while preserving the possibility that she might eventually be reformed, or that her knowledge might prove valuable under controlled circumstances. Sellen's physical condition, when first encountered, reveals the ongoing effects of her research into primeval current sorcery. Like Lusat and Azur before her, she shows signs of transformation, though her changes are less advanced than those experienced by the Academy's former Grand Masters. Her appearance suggests that she is following a similar path toward cosmic consciousness, but has not yet reached the point of complete metamorphosis. Her request for the Tarnished to seek out Master Azur represents more than simple scholarly collaboration. Sellen recognizes that the primeval current research conducted by the Academy's founders remains incomplete, and she believes that by gathering their scattered insights, she can achieve the breakthrough that eluded them. Her plan involves not just studying their work, but literally incorporating their transformed bodies into a new magical construct that will allow her to harness the full power of the cosmic forces they discovered. The journey to find Azur on Mount Gelmir serves as the first stage of this larger quest. Azur's location in the hermit village reflects his continued connection to magical learning, despite his exile from the Academy. The presence of other sorcerers and magical creatures in the area suggests that he has continued to attract students and followers who value his knowledge above the risks associated with studying under his guidance. Azur's physical condition when encountered provides a stark preview of what awaits those who delve too deeply into primeval current research. His body has been almost entirely transformed by crystalline growths, leaving him in a near inorganic state that bridges the gap between human consciousness and cosmic understanding. Yet, despite this transformation, he retains enough of his original purpose to recognize the Tarnished's quest and provide them with his legendary sorcery, Comet Azur. The presentation of Comet Azur to Sellen represents a crucial turning point in her research. This legendary sorcery provides her with concrete evidence that the primeval current can be successfully harnessed, even at great personal cost. The spell serves as both inspiration and instruction, demonstrating techniques that she can adapt for her own purposes while providing insights into the cosmic forces that she seeks to master. Sellen's reaction to receiving Azur's sorcery reveals the depth of her commitment to the primeval current tradition. Rather than being deterred by the obvious consequences of such research, she becomes even more determined to push forward with her investigations. Her willingness to continue despite clear warnings about the personal costs involved demonstrates the seductive power of cosmic knowledge and the difficulty of abandoning such pursuits once they have begun. The provision of the Sellian Sealbreaker represents Sellen's decision to fully trust the Tarnished with her most important mission. This magical key, which bears her personal seal and magical signature, provides access to the deepest secrets of her hometown, while also serving as a symbol of her authority and expertise. By entrusting the Tarnished with this artifact, she is effectively deputizing them as her representative in matters of the highest importance. The journey to the Sellia hideaway requires not only magical skill, but also understanding of the protective principles that govern Sellia's magical defenses. The hidden entrance to the cave system demonstrates the town's sophisticated approach to concealing dangerous knowledge, while the magical seals that protect Lusat's chamber represent the ultimate expression of these protective techniques. The discovery of Lusat within the hideaway provides perhaps the most poignant moment in the entire questline. The scholar who once stood among the Academy's most respected Grand Masters has been reduced to a crystallized husk, barely recognizable as the brilliant mind who helped found the institution. Yet even in this transformed state, he retains enough purpose to complete his final act of teaching by presenting the Tarnished with Stars of Ruin. The transfer of the spell from Lusat to the Tarnished represents more than a simple transaction. It is a passing of knowledge across generations, a continuation of the primeval current tradition, despite the obvious costs and dangers involved. Lusat's willingness to share his greatest achievement suggests that he believes the knowledge itself, however dangerous, represents genuine value that should not be lost. The spell description that accompanies Stars of Ruin provides crucial context for understanding both its power and its origin. The revelation that Lusat was broken by his glimpse into the primeval current emphasizes that the spell is not merely a magical technique, but a fragment of genuine cosmic revelation. Each casting of the spell involves channeling forces that operate on scales beyond normal human comprehension. Sellen's plan to relocate both Azur and Lusat to the Academy represents her attempt to synthesize their individual discoveries into a more complete understanding of primeval current principles. By bringing their transformed bodies to the institution they once helped to lead, she hopes to create a new center of cosmic research that can safely harness the forces that consumed her predecessors. The magical techniques required to move the transformed sorcerers demonstrate Sellen's own advanced understanding of spatial magic and consciousness manipulation. The fact that she can successfully relocate beings who exist in such fundamentally altered states suggests that her research has already yielded significant insights into the nature of the transformations they have undergone. The Academy's reaction to Sellen's return with her transformed colleagues reveals the continuing tension between institutional stability and scholarly innovation. While some members of the community welcome the opportunity to study primeval current phenomena under controlled conditions, others view the presence of such transformed beings as an unacceptable risk to students and faculty. The confrontation between Sellen and witch hunter Jeren represents the ultimate conflict between different approaches to managing dangerous knowledge. Jeren's position reflects the conservative view that some knowledge is too dangerous to preserve and should be actively suppressed. Sellen's stance embodies the scholarly tradition that all knowledge, however dangerous, represents potential value that should be preserved and studied. The outcome of this confrontation depends largely on the Tarnished's decision about which approach to support. Choosing to aid Sellen allows the primeval current research to continue, but at the cost of legitimizing dangerous magical practices. Supporting Jeren eliminates the immediate threat, but also destroys potentially valuable knowledge, and continues the cycle of suppression that has characterized the Academy's approach to primeval current studies. If Sellen is supported and emerges victorious from the confrontation, her subsequent transformation into a graven mass provides the final demonstration of the primeval current's effects on those who study it too intensively. Her fate mirrors that of Lusat and Azur, showing that even the most careful and methodical approach to cosmic research ultimately leads to the same devastating transformation. The graven mass that Sellen becomes represents the ultimate expression of primeval current philosophy, the complete subordination of individual consciousness to cosmic understanding. In this transformed state, she achieves the connection with stellar processes that she always sought, but at the cost of everything that made her a unique individual. Her consciousness becomes part of a larger magical construct designed to channel cosmic forces directly. The presence of this new graven mass within the Academy creates a complex situation for the institution's future development. On one hand, it provides unprecedented access to primeval current knowledge and techniques. On the other hand, it represents a constant reminder of the costs associated with such research and a potential source of corruption for students and faculty who interact with it. The aftermath of Sellen's transformation also raises important questions about the nature of magical education and institutional responsibility. The Academy must decide whether to embrace the opportunities presented by direct access to primeval current knowledge, or to maintain its traditional stance of avoiding such dangerous research. This decision will shape the institution's character and influence its ability to attract and retain talented scholars. The equipment and armor that become available after completing Sellen's questline provide tangible benefits for practitioners interested in primeval current sorcery. Lusat's and Azur's crowns and robes offer enhanced abilities for channeling cosmic forces, while also serving as reminders of the personal costs associated with such power. These artifacts represent a way for other practitioners to access fragments of primeval current knowledge without undergoing the complete transformation experienced by their original owners. The long-term implications of Sellen's quest extend far beyond the immediate magical benefits gained by the Tarnished. Her work represents a continuation of the scholarly tradition established by Lusat and Azur, while also pointing toward new possibilities for understanding and harnessing cosmic forces. Whether these possibilities represent genuine progress or dangerous delusion remains an open question that future scholars will have to answer. The preservation of Lusat's legacy through the transmission of Stars of Ruin ensures that his cosmic revelation will continue to influence magical practice for generations to come. Each practitioner who learns the spell must confront the same terrible knowledge that shattered his mind, gaining access to genuine cosmic understanding while risking their own sanity and humanity in the process. Chapter 8. The Mechanics of Cosmic Destruction. Stars of Ruin stands apart from other sorceries, not merely in its lore significance, but in its mechanical complexity and devastating effectiveness. To truly appreciate this legendary spell, we must examine how its gameplay mechanics reflect the cosmic forces it represents and the philosophical implications of wielding power drawn from stellar death. Every aspect of the spell's function serves as a window into the primeval current itself, revealing how cosmic knowledge translates into practical magical application. The most immediately striking aspect of Stars of Ruin is its 12 projectile composition. These are not random magical bolts, but carefully crafted manifestations of Lusat's cosmic vision, each one carrying a fragment of the stellar death he witnessed. The number 12 itself carries deep symbolic significance across multiple mystical traditions. It represents completion, cosmic order, and the full cycle of celestial phenomena. Yet in the context of Stars of Ruin, these 12 projectiles represent the completion of destruction rather than creation, the final countdown to cosmic dissolution. Each projectile in the spell exhibits sophisticated homing behavior that sets it apart from simpler seeking spells found elsewhere in the magical arsenal. The dark shooting stars do not merely follow a predetermined path toward their target, but actively adjust their trajectory based on the target's movements, demonstrating a form of magical intelligence that suggests they are more than mere energy constructs. This homing capability reflects the inexorable nature of cosmic forces. Once stellar death begins, it cannot be avoided or escaped, only endured. The visual design of the projectiles themselves carries important symbolic weight. Unlike the bright, life-giving light typically associated with stars, these manifestations are explicitly dark, representing the shadow image of stellar radiance. They move with the inevitability of actual celestial bodies while carrying the destructive potential of cosmic collapse. Their dark luminescence creates trails across the battlefield that evoke the final moments of dying star systems, painting temporary constellations of destruction in their wake. The spell's ability to be cast while in motion represents a crucial difference from most powerful sorceries, which typically require the caster to remain stationary during the casting process. This mobility suggests that the knowledge behind Stars of Ruin has become so integrated into the practitioner's being that it flows as naturally as breath. The cosmic understanding channeled through the spell does not require careful concentration or ritual preparation, but emerges from a fundamental transformation in the caster's relationship with reality itself. The charging mechanism that allows Stars of Ruin to be enhanced for greater damage speaks to the scalable nature of primeval current power. By investing additional time and focus in the casting process, practitioners can access deeper levels of cosmic understanding, channeling more of the terrible knowledge that inspired the spell's creation. This scaling reflects the bottomless nature of cosmic forces. there is always more power available for those willing to reach deeper into the abyss of stellar death. The enhanced damage provided by charging comes at the cost of increased casting time, creating a tactical decision that mirrors the philosophical trade-offs inherent in primeval current research. Greater power requires greater commitment and greater risk, forcing practitioners to decide how much of themselves they are willing to invest in pursuit of cosmic understanding. This mechanical trade-off serves as a microcosm of the larger choices faced by scholars like Lusat in their pursuit of forbidden knowledge. The spell's interaction with various magical enhancement items reveals the complex relationship between primeval current sorcery and conventional magical theory. Lusat's glintstone crown provides specific benefits for Stars of Ruin, while increasing the focus point cost of all sorceries, suggesting that primeval current equipment operates by fundamentally altering the practitioner's relationship with magical forces rather than simply amplifying existing capabilities. The crown's enhancement of Stars of Ruin by 15%, while simultaneously increasing its focus point consumption, reflects the double-edged nature of cosmic knowledge. The artifact allows practitioners to channel more of Lusat's original vision, but at the cost of increased mental and spiritual drain. This mechanical representation of the crown's effects serves as a constant reminder that primeval current power comes with inherent costs that cannot be avoided through skill or preparation alone. The Godfrey Icon Talisman's additional damage bonus when Stars of Ruin is charged creates an interesting synergy that encourages players to fully commit to the spell's most demanding casting mode. This mechanical reward for patience and dedication mirrors the scholarly virtues that originally drove Lusat's research: the willingness to invest time and effort in pursuit of ultimate understanding, regardless of immediate practical concerns. The spell's intelligence requirement of 43 points represents one of the highest cognitive barriers in all of sorcery, reflecting the immense mental capacity needed to safely channel cosmic forces. This requirement is not arbitrary, but reflects the genuine cognitive load involved in processing the mathematical relationships that govern stellar processes. Practitioners must possess not only raw intellectual ability, but the kind of systematic thinking that allows them to comprehend forces operating on galactic timescales. The focus point cost of 32 represents a significant but not overwhelming drain on magical resources, suggesting that Stars of Ruin is designed for practical application rather than single-use devastation. This relatively moderate cost allows skilled practitioners to cast the spell multiple times in a single engagement, creating sustained barrages of cosmic destruction that can overwhelm even the most determined opponents. The spell's efficiency reflects Lusat's practical background as both scholar and teacher. He created a weapon that could be used effectively rather than merely impressively. In player versus player combat, Stars of Ruin has gained a fearsome reputation for its near unavoidable nature. The 12 homing projectiles create a storm of destruction that is extremely difficult to completely evade, forcing opponents into desperate evasive maneuvers that often prove futile. This mechanical effectiveness perfectly mirrors the spell's lore. It represents forces that cannot be escaped, only endured, much like the cosmic knowledge that consumed its creator. The spell's ability to break poise demonstrates another aspect of its cosmic nature. Poise in Elden Ring represents a character's ability to maintain composure and continue their actions despite taking damage. Stars of Ruin's capacity to shatter this composure reflects the overwhelming nature of cosmic revelation. When confronted with forces that operate on stellar scales, normal human resilience becomes meaningless. The tracking behavior of the projectiles reveals sophisticated magical programming that goes far beyond simple heat-seeking or magical attraction. Each dark star appears to maintain awareness of its target's location and movement patterns, adjusting its approach to maximize the likelihood of impact. This level of magical intelligence suggests that the projectiles carry fragments of consciousness, perhaps echoes of Lusat's own awareness preserved within the spell's structure. The projectile's dark nature is not merely aesthetic, but represents a fundamental inversion of normal stellar properties. Where natural stars create and sustain life through their radiance, these manifestations consume and destroy through their darkness. They represent the antithesis of cosmic creativity, embodying the entropic forces that ultimately govern all physical processes. Their darkness is not the absence of light, but the presence of something far more fundamental and terrifying. The spell's legendary status within the game's classification system reflects both its power and its significance within magical tradition. Legendary sorceries are not merely the most powerful spells, but those that represent fundamental advances in magical understanding. Stars of Ruin belongs to this category not just because of its effectiveness, but because it represents a genuine breakthrough in the application of cosmic principles to practical magic. The spell's interaction with Terra Magica and other area enhancement effects demonstrates how primeval current sorcery can be amplified through conventional magical techniques. The 22.5% damage increase provided by Terra Magica suggests that cosmic forces, despite their alien nature, still respond to traditional magical enhancement methods. This compatibility indicates that primeval current sorcery, while dangerous and difficult to master, operates according to principles that can be understood and applied by sufficiently skilled practitioners. The Magic Scorpion Charm's 12% damage bonus reveals another layer of interaction between cosmic and conventional magic. The charm's effectiveness with Stars of Ruin suggests that the spell, despite its exotic origins, still functions within the established framework of magical damage types and enhancement methods. This compatibility makes the spell more accessible to practitioners, while also providing multiple paths for optimization and specialization. The Magic Shrouding Cracked Tear's 20% damage boost creates powerful synergies for practitioners willing to invest in comprehensive magical enhancement. The fact that this physic enhancement affects Stars of Ruin demonstrates that cosmic forces, while operating on scales beyond normal human comprehension, can still be channeled and directed through careful application of established magical principles. The spell's performance in different combat scenarios reveals the breadth of its tactical applications. Against large, slow-moving enemies, Stars of Ruin functions as a devastating damage over time effect, with each projectile contributing to a sustained barrage that can quickly overwhelm even heavily armored opponents. The spell's homing nature ensures that few of the 12 projectiles will miss their target, maximizing damage output regardless of the enemy's defensive capabilities. In encounters with multiple opponents, Stars of Ruin's projectiles can split between different targets, creating a form of crowd control that combines damage dealing with tactical disruption. The spell's ability to simultaneously engage multiple enemies reflects the cosmic scale of the forces it channels. Stellar processes affect entire solar systems rather than individual planets, and Stars of Ruin operates according to similar principles of widespread impact. The spell's effectiveness against highly mobile opponents demonstrates the sophistication of its targeting systems. Even enemies capable of rapid movement or teleportation struggle to completely avoid all 12 projectiles, as the dark stars adjust their approach patterns to account for evasive maneuvers. This adaptability reflects the inevitable nature of cosmic forces. Stellar death cannot be avoided through speed or cleverness, only delayed through temporary measures. The visual spectacle created by Stars of Ruin serves important functions beyond mere aesthetic appeal. The trails left by the dark projectiles create temporary constellations that remind observers of the cosmic scale of the forces being channeled. These visual effects serve as both warning and education, demonstrating the connection between the spell and the stellar processes that inspired its creation. The sound design associated with Stars of Ruin contributes to its psychological impact on both casters and targets. The audio cues associated with the spell's casting and impact carry undertones that evoke the vast emptiness of space and the terrible silence of stellar death. These sound elements serve to reinforce the spell's cosmic nature while also providing tactical information about timing and effectiveness. The spell's integration with the game's magic system demonstrates how primeval current sorcery can coexist with conventional magical traditions. Stars of Ruin benefits from the same intelligence scaling, staff bonuses, and enhancement effects that improve other sorceries, suggesting that cosmic knowledge, while dangerous to acquire, operates according to principles that can be understood and applied through established magical frameworks. The social and cultural impact of Stars of Ruin within the game world extends far beyond its immediate combat applications. The spell serves as a symbol of the Academy's complex relationship with forbidden knowledge, representing both the heights of magical achievement and the depths of scholarly tragedy. Its existence reminds the magical community that some knowledge comes at costs that cannot be calculated in advance. The spell's role in Sellen's questline and her eventual confrontation with witch hunter Jeren demonstrates how primeval current sorcery continues to divide the magical community. Those who support Sellen's research view Stars of Ruin as evidence that cosmic knowledge can be safely harnessed for beneficial purposes. Those who oppose her see the spell as proof that such research inevitably leads to corruption and destruction. The preservation of Stars of Ruin within Lusat's transformed body raises important questions about the relationship between knowledge and consciousness. The spell appears to have become part of Lusat's essential being rather than merely a technique he developed, suggesting that primeval current sorcery involves fundamental changes to the practitioner's nature rather than simple skill acquisition. The transmission of the spell from Lusat to the Tarnished represents more than a simple transfer of magical knowledge. It constitutes a form of intellectual inheritance, passing cosmic understanding from one generation to the next, while also perpetuating the cycle of revelation and transformation that characterizes primeval current research. Each new practitioner who learns Stars of Ruin must confront the same terrible knowledge that shattered Lusat's mind. The spell's continuing relevance in post-Academy magical practice demonstrates the enduring value of primeval current research despite its obvious dangers. Practitioners throughout the lands between continue to seek out and study Stars of Ruin, drawn by its power and the cosmic insights it represents. This ongoing interest suggests that the appeal of ultimate knowledge transcends rational considerations of safety and prudence. The mechanical evolution of Stars of Ruin through various game patches reflects the ongoing challenge of balancing powerful abilities within competitive multiplayer environments. Changes to the spell's damage, tracking, or resource costs require careful consideration of how such modifications might affect the spell's lore significance and thematic coherence. The spell must remain true to its cosmic origins, while also functioning effectively within the game's tactical framework. The spell's influence on other sorceries and magical techniques demonstrates how primeval current principles continue to shape magical development even after their primary practitioners have been exiled or transformed. Elements of Stars of Ruin's design philosophy can be seen in other advanced sorceries, suggesting that Lusat's cosmic revelation continues to influence magical research through indirect channels. The accessibility of Stars of Ruin to player characters raises interesting questions about the democratization of cosmic knowledge. While the spell requires exceptional intelligence and magical skill to use effectively, it can theoretically be learned by any practitioner willing to undertake Sellen's questline. This accessibility suggests that cosmic understanding, while dangerous, is not inherently limited to a select few individuals, but can be shared more broadly under appropriate circumstances. The spell's role in speedrunning and challenge playthroughs demonstrates how even cosmic forces can be harnessed for practical purposes by sufficiently dedicated practitioners. The spell's ability to quickly eliminate powerful enemies makes it valuable for players seeking to minimize completion times or overcome difficult encounters with limited resources. This practical utility reflects Lusat's own background as a teacher and scholar who valued effective application of magical principles. Chapter 9. The Philosophy of Stellar Death. The creation of Stars of Ruin represents more than a magical breakthrough. It embodies a profound philosophical statement about the nature of existence, knowledge, and the relationship between mortal consciousness and cosmic reality. To understand this spell fully, we must examine the philosophical implications of channeling stellar death as a weapon, and consider what it means to transform cosmic revelation into practical application. Lusat's achievement forces us to confront fundamental questions about the value of knowledge and the price we are willing to pay for ultimate understanding. At its core, Stars of Ruin represents an attempt to make the incomprehensible comprehensible, to translate cosmic processes that operate on scales beyond human experience into forms that mortal minds can grasp and utilize. This translation process is not merely technical but deeply philosophical, requiring a fundamental reimagining of how magical power relates to cosmic truth. Lusat's success in creating the spell demonstrates that it is possible to bridge the gap between human consciousness and stellar processes, but his personal transformation reveals the cost of such achievement. The philosophical foundation of Stars of Ruin rests on the recognition that destruction and creation are not opposite forces, but complementary aspects of a single cosmic process. The stellar death that Lusat witnessed was not mere annihilation, but transformation, the conversion of matter and energy from one form to another according to principles that govern all physical reality. His spell captures this transformative aspect of stellar death, using it not to create nihilistic destruction, but to facilitate change through controlled application of entropic forces. This understanding of destruction as transformation reflects ancient philosophical traditions that recognize death as a necessary component of cosmic order rather than its negation. The 12 dark stars of the spell do not simply destroy their targets, but transform them, converting organized matter into more basic forms while releasing the energy that held complex structures together. This process mirrors the stellar death that inspired the spell's creation, where the collapse of stellar matter releases enormous quantities of energy that seed space with the materials necessary for new star formation. The homing nature of the spell's projectiles embodies a philosophical statement about the inevitability of cosmic truth. Once genuine understanding has been achieved, it cannot be avoided or escaped, but must be confronted and integrated into one's worldview. The dark stars pursue their targets with the same relentless certainty that cosmic revelation pursued Lusat himself, forcing encounters with truth that fundamentally alter all who experience them. The spell's ability to be cast while in motion reflects a philosophical understanding of knowledge as something that becomes part of one's essential nature rather than remaining external information. For Lusat, the cosmic revelation that destroyed his sanity also became so integrated into his being that it could be expressed as naturally as physical movement. This integration represents the ultimate goal of all genuine learning, the transformation of external information into internal understanding that shapes every aspect of one's existence. The dark nature of the projectiles carries profound symbolic significance that extends beyond mere visual design. Darkness in this context represents not the absence of knowledge, but the presence of understanding so complete that it transcends normal categories of comprehension. The darkness of the stars reflects the fact that cosmic truth operates according to principles that exist beyond the normal boundaries of mortal perception, requiring fundamental changes in consciousness to be properly appreciated. The number 12 chosen for the projectiles connects the spell to ancient traditions of cosmic symbolism, while also reflecting Lusat's systematic approach to magical research. 12 represents completion and perfection in many mystical systems, but in the context of Stars of Ruin, it represents the completion of destruction rather than creation. The spell embodies the mathematical precision that Lusat brought to his study of meteoric phenomena, while applying that precision to forces that operate on scales far beyond normal astronomical observation. The spell's legendary status reflects not just its power, but its philosophical significance as a genuine advance in human understanding of cosmic principles. Legendary achievements in any field represent moments when individuals successfully push beyond established boundaries to discover new possibilities for human knowledge and capability. Stars of Ruin belongs to this category because it demonstrates that cosmic forces, despite their alien nature, can be comprehended and harnessed by mortal consciousness willing to pay the necessary price. The charging mechanism that enhances the spell's power represents a philosophical statement about the relationship between commitment and understanding. Deeper knowledge requires greater investment of time, attention, and personal resources. The enhanced damage achieved through charging reflects the additional cosmic insight that becomes available to practitioners willing to fully engage with the forces they are channeling rather than settling for superficial application of technique. The spell's effectiveness in both individual and group combat scenarios reflects a philosophical understanding of cosmic forces as fundamentally impersonal and universal in their application. Stellar processes affect entire solar systems without regard for the desires or needs of individual planets, and Stars of Ruin operates according to similar principles of universal application. The spell does not discriminate between different types of targets, but applies its transformative force according to cosmic principles that transcend personal considerations. The spell's integration with conventional magical enhancement techniques demonstrates the philosophical position that cosmic understanding, while transcendent, remains connected to established principles of reality. The fact that Terra Magica and other enhancement effects improve Stars of Ruin suggests that cosmic forces operate according to laws that can be understood and applied through systematic study, rather than representing arbitrary or capricious powers. The visual design of the spell creates a temporary constellation of destruction that serves as both practical weapon and philosophical statement. The trails left by the dark projectiles remind observers that all configurations of matter and energy are temporary, subject to cosmic forces that operate according to principles of change and transformation. This visual reminder serves to contextualize immediate combat encounters within broader cosmic perspectives. The sound design associated with Stars of Ruin contributes to its philosophical impact by evoking the vast silence of space and the terrible beauty of stellar death. These audio elements serve to remind practitioners and observers alike that they are witnessing the application of forces that normally operate in the emptiness between stars, far from any consciousness capable of appreciating their significance. The spell's role in advancing primeval current research represents a philosophical victory for the position that knowledge, however dangerous, represents genuine value that justifies the risks involved in its pursuit. Lusat's creation of Stars of Ruin demonstrates that cosmic revelation can be translated into forms that benefit others, even if the original discoverer pays a terrible personal price for their insights. The transmission of the spell from Lusat to other practitioners embodies a philosophical commitment to sharing knowledge across generations, despite the obvious dangers involved. This commitment reflects the scholarly tradition that genuine understanding belongs not to individuals, but to the broader community of those dedicated to advancing human knowledge and capability. The spell's continuing influence on magical research and practice demonstrates the philosophical principle that genuine breakthroughs create new possibilities that extend far beyond their original applications. Stars of Ruin not only provides practitioners with access to cosmic forces, but also establishes new frameworks for understanding how such forces can be studied and applied in other contexts. The debates surrounding the spell's appropriate use and study reflect broader philosophical tensions between different approaches to managing dangerous knowledge. Conservative positions emphasize the need to protect individuals and society from forces that might prove harmful if misused. Progressive positions argue that genuine understanding requires willingness to engage with dangerous concepts, and that attempts to suppress such knowledge ultimately impede human development. The spell's mechanical accessibility to player characters, despite its cosmic origins, reflects a philosophical commitment to the democratization of knowledge and the belief that ultimate understanding should not be limited to a privileged elite. While the spell requires exceptional skill and intelligence to master, it can theoretically be learned by any practitioner willing to undertake the necessary quest for understanding. The spell's effectiveness against various types of opponents demonstrates the philosophical principle that cosmic truth applies universally rather than selectively. The forces channeled through Stars of Ruin affect all targets, according to the same fundamental principles, reflecting the universal nature of the cosmic processes that inspired the spell's creation. The spell's role in competitive gameplay creates interesting philosophical questions about the relationship between cosmic understanding and practical advantage. Players who master Stars of Ruin gain significant tactical benefits, but these advantages come at the cost of investing considerable time and effort in acquiring and developing proficiency with the spell. This reflects the broader philosophical principle that genuine achievement requires significant personal investment and cannot be obtained through shortcuts or casual effort. The ongoing evolution of the spell through game updates and community discussion demonstrates how philosophical concepts continue to develop through practical application and collective reflection. Each player's experience with Stars of Ruin contributes to the broader understanding of how cosmic forces can be effectively channeled, while also revealing new aspects of the philosophical questions raised by such power. The spell's influence on other magical techniques and research directions shows how philosophical breakthroughs create cascading effects that extend far beyond their original scope. Lusat's demonstration that cosmic forces could be harnessed for practical use established new possibilities for magical research that continue to influence practitioners long after his own transformation. The spell serves as a constant reminder that the pursuit of ultimate knowledge involves fundamental risks that cannot be eliminated through careful planning or superior technique. The cosmic understanding that enabled Stars of Ruin's creation came at the cost of Lusat's humanity, and every practitioner who learns the spell must confront the same philosophical questions about the value of knowledge and the price they are willing to pay for understanding. Chapter 10. The Legacy of Cosmic Revelation. The impact of Lusat's cosmic revelation extends far beyond the creation of a single spell, no matter how powerful or significant. His glimpse into the primeval current represents a watershed moment in the magical history of the lands between, establishing new possibilities for understanding cosmic forces, while also demonstrating the terrible costs associated with such knowledge. The legacy of his achievement continues to influence magical practice, institutional policy, and scholarly philosophy long after his own transformation into a crystallized vessel for cosmic power. The immediate aftermath of Lusat's revelation created ripple effects throughout the magical community that persist to this day. His exile from the Academy of Raya Lucaria was not simply the removal of a dangerous individual, but the acknowledgement that the institution's foundational principles had been challenged by forces beyond its ability to control or contain. The Academy's response to this crisis established precedents for dealing with forbidden knowledge that continue to shape institutional policy and scholarly behavior. The preservation of Lusat's transformed body within the Sellia hideaway represents a complex form of institutional memory that serves multiple functions simultaneously. His crystallized form provides concrete evidence of what happens to those who delve too deeply into cosmic knowledge, serving as both warning and inspiration for future scholars. The careful preservation of his remains also ensures that the knowledge he gained, however dangerous, is not lost to future generations who might find ways to apply it more safely. The continuing availability of Stars of Ruin to qualified practitioners demonstrates the enduring value of Lusat's sacrifice, while also perpetuating the cycle of cosmic revelation that characterized his own career. Each new student who learns the spell must confront fragments of the same terrible knowledge that shattered Lusat's mind, gaining access to genuine cosmic understanding while risking their own sanity and humanity in the process. The spell's integration into broader magical practice has created new schools of thought about the proper relationship between scholars and cosmic forces. Some practitioners view Stars of Ruin as evidence that cosmic knowledge can be safely harnessed through careful technique and proper preparation. Others see it as proof that such forces inevitably corrupt those who attempt to channel them, regardless of their skill or precautions. The Academy's ongoing struggle with primeval current research reflects the broader challenge of balancing institutional safety with scholarly innovation. Lusat's legacy forces the institution to confront fundamental questions about the limits of acceptable research and the responsibility of educational institutions to protect their communities from dangerous knowledge. These debates continue to influence Academy policy while also shaping the career decisions of ambitious scholars. The influence of Lusat's work on subsequent generations of magical researchers can be seen in the continuing development of star-based sorceries and the persistent interest in cosmic phenomena among Academy students. While direct study of the primeval current remains officially forbidden, indirect approaches to understanding stellar processes continue to flourish, suggesting that Lusat's cosmic revelation opened new avenues of inquiry that extend far beyond his specific discoveries. Sorceress Sellen's eventual transformation into a graven mass represents both continuation and culmination of the tradition that Lusat established. Her willingness to pursue primeval current research, despite clear knowledge of its consequences, demonstrates the seductive power of cosmic understanding and the difficulty of abandoning such pursuits once they have begun. Her fate serves as additional evidence that the pattern established by Lusat and Azur may be inevitable for any scholar who seriously engages with cosmic forces. The political implications of Lusat's legacy extend throughout the magical community and beyond. The existence of practitioners capable of channeling cosmic forces raises important questions about the balance of power between different magical traditions and the appropriate role of institutional oversight in scholarly research. Governments and other authorities must consider how to respond to individuals who possess knowledge that operates on scales beyond normal political or military considerations. The economic impact of primeval current research continues to influence magical commerce and resource allocation throughout the lands between. The artifacts and equipment associated with cosmic sorcery command premium prices, while also creating new markets for specialized materials and services. The ongoing demand for access to Lusat's knowledge and techniques generates economic opportunities, while also creating incentives for dangerous research and experimentation. The cultural significance of Stars of Ruin extends beyond its immediate magical applications to influence art, literature, and philosophical discourse throughout the lands between. The spell serves as a symbol of both human achievement and human limitation, representing the heights of magical accomplishment, while also demonstrating the costs of transcendent understanding. This symbolic significance influences how the broader culture views the relationship between knowledge and wisdom. The psychological impact of Lusat's transformation on the magical community cannot be understated. His fate serves as a constant reminder that even the most brilliant and accomplished scholars remain vulnerable to forces beyond their control or understanding. This awareness influences how magical practitioners approach their own research, while also affecting the recruitment and training of new students. The theological implications of primeval current research have created new discussions about the relationship between mortal consciousness and cosmic truth. Lusat's ability to glimpse the fundamental processes that govern stellar phenomena raises questions about the nature of reality and the appropriate limits of human knowledge. These discussions influence religious and philosophical traditions, while also affecting how magical practitioners understand their own role within broader cosmic systems. The technological developments inspired by primeval current research continue to influence magical innovation and application throughout the lands between. Techniques and principles derived from cosmic understanding find applications in fields ranging from architecture to agriculture, demonstrating that Lusat's revelation has practical implications that extend far beyond combat magic. The international dimensions of Lusat's legacy affect relationships between different regions and magical traditions. The knowledge and techniques associated with primeval current research have spread beyond their original context to influence magical practice in distant lands, creating new forms of cooperation and competition between different scholarly communities. The environmental implications of widespread cosmic sorcery use raise important questions about the long-term sustainability of such practices. The forces channeled through spells like Stars of Ruin operate on scales that could potentially affect local environments or even broader ecological systems if used extensively. These concerns influence discussions about the appropriate regulation and application of cosmic knowledge. The educational challenges created by Lusat's legacy continue to influence magical pedagogy and institutional design. Schools and academies must balance the need to provide students with access to advanced knowledge against the responsibility to protect them from dangerous forces. This balance requires careful consideration of curriculum design, safety protocols, and student evaluation methods. The preservation and transmission of cosmic knowledge across generations requires specialized techniques and institutions that can safely maintain dangerous information while making it available to qualified researchers. The systems developed for managing Lusat's legacy serve as models for handling other forms of forbidden or dangerous knowledge that may emerge from future research. The ongoing research into primeval current phenomena continues to generate new insights and techniques that build upon Lusat's original discoveries. Each new breakthrough adds to the body of cosmic knowledge while also creating new risks and challenges for the magical community. This accumulating understanding represents both the fulfillment of Lusat's scholarly vision and the perpetuation of the cycle of revelation and transformation that characterized his own career. The influence of Stars of Ruin on magical theory and practice extends beyond its immediate applications to affect how practitioners understand the fundamental nature of sorcery itself. The spell's demonstration that cosmic forces can be channeled through mortal consciousness has implications for theories about the relationship between mind and reality that continue to influence magical research in numerous fields. The commemoration of Lusat's achievement through various forms of memorial and remembrance serves important functions for the magical community, while also ensuring that future generations understand both the value and the cost of his discoveries. These commemorative practices help maintain institutional memory while also providing opportunities for reflection on the appropriate balance between scholarly ambition and personal safety. The continuing evolution of cosmic sorcery techniques based on Lusat's foundational work demonstrates that his revelation was not an ending, but a beginning. The establishment of new possibilities for magical practice that continue to develop through the efforts of subsequent generations. Each new practitioner who learns Stars of Ruin contributes to this ongoing development, while also risking their own transformation in pursuit of deeper understanding. The global influence of Lusat's legacy can be seen in the spread of star-based magical techniques and the increasing interest in cosmic phenomena among practitioners throughout the known world. His demonstration that mortal consciousness could successfully engage with stellar processes has inspired countless others to pursue similar investigations, creating a distributed network of cosmic research that operates both within and beyond established institutional frameworks. The ultimate significance of Lusat's achievement lies not just in the creation of a powerful spell, but in the proof that human consciousness, despite its limitations, can successfully engage with forces that operate on cosmic scales. This demonstration represents a fundamental expansion of human potential, while also revealing the costs associated with such transcendence. His legacy continues to influence all those who seek to push beyond established boundaries in pursuit of ultimate understanding, serving as both inspiration and warning for future generations of scholars and practitioners. Chapter 11. The Dark Star's Eternal Dance. As we approach the conclusion of our exploration into Stars of Ruin and the tragic brilliance of Master Lusat, we must consider the broader implications of cosmic magic and its place within the ever-evolving tapestry of Elden Ring's mystical traditions. The spell that emerged from Lusat's shattered mind represents more than an isolated achievement. It embodies fundamental truths about the nature of knowledge, power, and the price of transcendence that resonate throughout the magical practices of the lands between. The continuing influence of Stars of Ruin on contemporary magical practice reveals the enduring relevance of cosmic understanding despite its obvious dangers. Practitioners throughout the realm continue to seek out training in the spell, drawn by its devastating effectiveness and the cosmic insights it represents. This ongoing interest demonstrates that the appeal of ultimate knowledge transcends rational considerations of safety, suggesting that the drive to understand cosmic forces may be an inescapable aspect of human consciousness. The technical mastery required to effectively wield Stars of Ruin has created new forms of magical specialization that extend far beyond the spell itself. Practitioners who dedicate themselves to cosmic sorcery develop enhanced understanding of spatial relationships, temporal dynamics, and the mathematical principles that govern celestial phenomena. These skills find applications in numerous other magical disciplines, creating cross-pollination effects that enrich the broader magical community. The psychological profile of practitioners drawn to cosmic sorcery reveals consistent patterns that echo Lusat's own characteristics. These individuals typically display exceptional intelligence, insatiable curiosity, and willingness to accept personal risk in pursuit of understanding. They also tend to experience isolation from mainstream magical communities, as their interests and methods often exceed the comfort levels of more conventional practitioners. The social dynamics surrounding Stars of Ruin and similar cosmic sorceries create complex hierarchies within magical communities based on practitioners' willingness and ability to engage with dangerous knowledge. Those who master cosmic techniques often find themselves simultaneously respected for their achievement and feared for their potential instability. This ambivalent status reflects broader tensions between admiration for intellectual courage and concern about the consequences of unchecked ambition. The artistic and cultural expressions inspired by cosmic sorcery demonstrate how Lusat's revelation continues to influence creative endeavors throughout the lands between. Poets write verses about the terrible beauty of stellar death. Painters attempt to capture the visual essence of cosmic dissolution, and musicians compose melodies that evoke the vast silence between stars. These artistic works serve to process and transmit cosmic understanding in forms that avoid the direct dangers associated with practical application. The philosophical schools that have emerged around cosmic sorcery reflect different approaches to understanding the relationship between mortal consciousness and universal forces. Some emphasize the transformative potential of cosmic knowledge, viewing practitioners like Lusat as pioneers who achieved genuine transcendence despite the personal costs involved. Others focus on the tragic aspects of cosmic revelation, seeing such practitioners as cautionary examples of what happens when human ambition exceeds human limitations. The technological innovations inspired by cosmic sorcery principles continue to influence magical engineering and architectural design throughout the realm. Techniques derived from understanding stellar processes find applications in projects ranging from defensive fortifications to transportation systems. These practical applications demonstrate that cosmic knowledge, while dangerous to acquire, can provide genuine benefits when carefully applied to appropriate problems. The environmental monitoring networks established to track the long-term effects of cosmic sorcery use provide valuable data about the interaction between magical practice and natural systems. While no catastrophic effects have been documented, researchers continue to study potential cumulative impacts of widespread cosmic magic use on local ecosystems and broader environmental patterns. The international exchange programs developed for sharing cosmic sorcery knowledge between different magical traditions have created new forms of scholarly cooperation, while also raising complex questions about intellectual property and safety protocols. These programs must balance the benefits of knowledge sharing against the risks of spreading dangerous techniques to unprepared practitioners or potentially hostile organizations. The regulatory frameworks developed for governing cosmic sorcery research reflect attempts to balance scholarly freedom with community safety. These systems typically involve licensing requirements, safety protocols, and oversight mechanisms designed to prevent unauthorized research while maintaining access for qualified practitioners. The effectiveness of these regulatory approaches continues to be debated within magical and political communities. The preservation initiatives designed to maintain cosmic sorcery knowledge for future generations face unique challenges related to the dangerous nature of the information being preserved. Traditional archival methods may be inadequate for materials that can corrupt or transform those who study them inappropriately. New techniques for safe storage and transmission of dangerous knowledge continue to be developed in response to these challenges. The healing and rehabilitation programs developed for practitioners who suffer adverse effects from cosmic sorcery exposure represent important advances in magical medicine and psychology. These programs attempt to address both the physical and mental consequences of cosmic revelation, while preserving whatever beneficial knowledge may have been gained through the experience. The prophecy and divination traditions that have grown around cosmic sorcery often focus on predictions about the ultimate fate of practitioners who follow Lusat's path. These prophetic traditions serve multiple functions, providing guidance for current practitioners while also maintaining cultural memory about the long-term consequences of cosmic research. The memorial and commemorative practices that honor practitioners who have been transformed or lost through cosmic research serve important functions for maintaining community solidarity while processing collective grief about the costs of magical advancement. These practices help ensure that individual sacrifices are remembered and valued, while also providing opportunities for reflection on appropriate limits for scholarly ambition. The recruitment and training programs designed to identify and prepare potential cosmic sorcery practitioners reflect sophisticated understanding of the psychological and intellectual requirements for safe engagement with cosmic forces. These programs attempt to screen out individuals who lack the necessary stability or commitment, while providing intensive preparation for those who demonstrate appropriate potential. The crisis intervention protocols developed for situations involving unstable cosmic sorcery practitioners provide frameworks for responding to emergencies while protecting both the affected individual and the broader community. These protocols must balance therapeutic intervention with safety considerations, often under conditions where conventional approaches may be inadequate or counterproductive. The research ethics committees that oversee cosmic sorcery investigations face unique challenges in evaluating proposed studies that may benefit humanity while posing existential risks to individual researchers. These committees must develop new frameworks for assessing acceptable risk levels and ensuring informed consent when the full consequences of participation cannot be predicted or explained. The public education initiatives designed to increase awareness about cosmic sorcery and its implications serve important functions in maintaining informed democratic discourse about magical policy, while also preparing communities to respond appropriately to cosmic phenomena. These programs must balance accuracy with accessibility, providing useful information without inadvertently encouraging dangerous amateur experimentation. The diplomatic and strategic considerations surrounding cosmic sorcery capabilities affect international relations and military planning throughout the known world. The potential for cosmic sorcery to provide significant tactical advantages creates incentives for investment in such research, while also raising concerns about proliferation and stability. These considerations influence alliance structures, trade relationships, and conflict prevention efforts. The long-term vision for cosmic sorcery development includes ambitious goals for expanding human understanding of universal forces, while developing safer methods for cosmic engagement. This vision requires sustained commitment to research and development over periods that may span multiple generations, creating challenges for maintaining institutional continuity and public support. The integration of cosmic sorcery principles with other magical traditions continues to generate new hybrid approaches that combine cosmic understanding with established techniques from different schools. These synthetic approaches may offer paths for accessing cosmic benefits while avoiding some of the risks associated with direct cosmic engagement. The ultimate legacy of Stars of Ruin and Master Lusat extends far beyond the immediate magical and scholarly communities to influence fundamental questions about human nature, the value of knowledge, and the appropriate relationship between individual ambition and collective welfare. The spell serves as a crystallized reminder that every significant advance in understanding comes with costs that must be carefully weighed against potential benefits. As we consider the ongoing influence of Lusat's cosmic revelation, we must recognize that his story is not yet finished. Each new practitioner who learns Stars of Ruin becomes part of his continuing legacy, carrying forward both his insights and his warnings. The spell itself serves as a bridge between past and future, connecting the scholarly traditions that shape Lusat's development with the cosmic understanding that transformed his existence. The questions raised by Stars of Ruin about the nature of knowledge, power, and transcendence remain as relevant today as they were when Lusat first glimpsed the dying star cluster that shattered his mind. These questions challenge us to examine our own assumptions about the appropriate limits of inquiry and the prices we are willing to pay for understanding. They remind us that the pursuit of knowledge, while noble and necessary, must be balanced against respect for the forces we seek to comprehend and recognition of our own limitations as mortal beings seeking to understand immortal truths. Conclusion: the eternal pursuit of cosmic truth. And so concludes our deep dive into Stars of Ruin and the tragic brilliance of Master Lusat. We've discovered how a scholar's insatiable curiosity led him from the hidden streets of Sellia to the pinnacle of magical achievement at the Academy of Raya Lucaria, and ultimately to a cosmic revelation that shattered his mind while birthing one of the most powerful sorceries ever created. We've explored the forbidden knowledge of the primeval current, witnessed the transformation of a brilliant human mind into a crystallized vessel for cosmic power, and examined the continuing influence of his achievement on magical practice throughout the lands between. The legacy of Master Lusat continues to challenge us with fundamental questions about the nature of knowledge and the price of understanding. His creation of Stars of Ruin represents both the heights of human achievement and the depths of cosmic horror, demonstrating that some truths are too vast for mortal comprehension, yet too compelling to ignore. Through his sacrifice, we gain access to genuine cosmic understanding, while being reminded of the costs that such knowledge demands. The spell itself serves as more than a weapon or magical technique. It is a fragment of genuine cosmic revelation, a crystallized memory of stellar death that allows practitioners to channel forces normally reserved for the void between stars. Each casting of Stars of Ruin connects the practitioner to the same terrible knowledge that consumed Lusat, offering a taste of cosmic understanding while serving as a constant reminder of the price such knowledge demands. The story of Stars of Ruin speaks to themes that resonate far beyond the boundaries of magical practice. It reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge, while noble and necessary, comes with responsibilities and risks that cannot be avoided through skill or preparation alone. Lusat's transformation from respected scholar to crystallized husk serves as both inspiration and warning, demonstrating that the greatest achievements often require the greatest sacrifices. The continuing influence of primeval current research throughout the lands between shows that Lusat's revelation was not an ending but a beginning. The establishment of new possibilities for understanding cosmic forces that continue to develop through the efforts of subsequent generations. Each new practitioner who learns his spell becomes part of his ongoing legacy, carrying forward both his insights and his warnings to future scholars who will face the same fundamental choices between safety and understanding. The Academy of Raya Lucaria's complex relationship with cosmic sorcery reflects broader tensions within all institutions of learning between the need to preserve knowledge and the responsibility to protect those who seek it. Lusat's exile and eventual transformation force us to consider whether some knowledge is too dangerous to pursue, or whether the pursuit of understanding justifies any personal cost. Sorceress Sellen's continuation of primeval current research and her eventual transformation into a graven mass demonstrate that the appeal of cosmic knowledge transcends rational considerations of safety. Her fate shows that even full awareness of the consequences may not be enough to deter those possessed of sufficient curiosity and ambition. The cycle of revelation and transformation that claimed Lusat appears to be an inevitable aspect of serious engagement with cosmic forces. The preservation of Lusat's knowledge through the careful protocols surrounding access to Stars of Ruin represents a mature approach to managing dangerous information. By requiring practitioners to demonstrate their commitment through completing Sellen's questline, the magical community ensures that only those with genuine dedication gain access to cosmic understanding, while also honoring Lusat's legacy as a teacher who valued the transmission of knowledge to worthy students. The spell's mechanical design reflects the philosophical principles underlying its creation. The 12 dark projectiles represent the mathematical precision that Lusat brought to his cosmic research, while embodying the inevitable nature of stellar death. Their homing behavior mirrors the relentless pursuit of knowledge that characterized Lusat's career, while their dark radiance represents the shadow side of understanding that comes with glimpsing forces beyond mortal comprehension. The social and cultural impact of Stars of Ruin extends throughout the magical community and beyond, influencing how practitioners understand the relationship between individual achievement and collective responsibility. The spell serves as a reminder that the most significant magical breakthroughs often come from individuals willing to sacrifice everything in pursuit of understanding, but also that such sacrifices have implications for entire communities. The technological and practical applications derived from cosmic sorcery principles demonstrate that Lusat's revelation continues to benefit humanity in ways that extend far beyond its original military applications. Techniques based on understanding stellar processes find uses in architecture, agriculture, transportation, and numerous other fields, showing that cosmic knowledge, while dangerous to acquire, can provide genuine benefits when carefully applied. The ongoing debates about the appropriate regulation of cosmic sorcery research reflect fundamental tensions between different approaches to managing technological and magical advancement. These discussions influence policy decisions, while also shaping how future generations will approach the balance between innovation and safety in their own magical investigations. The international dimensions of cosmic sorcery development create new forms of cooperation and competition between different magical traditions and political entities. The knowledge and techniques associated with primeval current research represent strategic assets that affect diplomatic relationships while also creating opportunities for beneficial knowledge exchange. The environmental and ecological considerations surrounding widespread cosmic sorcery use raise important questions about the long-term sustainability of such practices. While no catastrophic effects have been documented, the potential for cumulative impacts requires ongoing monitoring and research to ensure that current benefits do not create problems for future generations. The psychological and social support systems developed for cosmic sorcery practitioners reflect growing understanding of the unique challenges faced by those who engage with forces beyond normal human experience. These support systems help maintain the mental health of active practitioners, while also providing assistance for those who suffer adverse effects from cosmic exposure. The artistic and cultural expressions inspired by cosmic sorcery demonstrate how Lusat's revelation continues to influence creative endeavors throughout the lands between. These works serve important functions in processing and transmitting cosmic understanding, while also making such knowledge accessible to broader audiences who might not be qualified for direct magical practice. The memorial and commemorative traditions that honor practitioners who have been transformed or lost through cosmic research serve vital functions in maintaining community memory while processing collective grief about the costs of magical advancement. These traditions help ensure that individual sacrifices are remembered and valued, while providing opportunities for reflection on appropriate limits for scholarly ambition. The educational and training programs designed to prepare future cosmic sorcery practitioners reflect sophisticated understanding of the psychological and intellectual requirements for safe engagement with cosmic forces. These programs attempt to identify and develop the rare individuals capable of such work, while also ensuring that they understand both the potential benefits and inevitable risks involved. The healing and rehabilitation efforts directed toward practitioners who suffer adverse effects from cosmic exposure represent important advances in magical medicine and psychology. These programs attempt to address both the physical and mental consequences of cosmic revelation, while preserving whatever beneficial knowledge may have been gained through the experience. The research ethics frameworks developed for evaluating cosmic sorcery investigations face unique challenges in assessing risks and benefits when dealing with forces that operate beyond normal human understanding. These frameworks must balance the potential for significant advances in knowledge against the certainty of personal risk to individual researchers. The long-term strategic planning for cosmic sorcery development requires consideration of timescales that span multiple generations, creating challenges for maintaining institutional continuity and public support. These planning efforts must balance ambitious goals for expanding human understanding against realistic assessments of available resources and acceptable risk levels. The integration of cosmic sorcery principles with other magical traditions continues to generate new hybrid approaches that may offer safer paths for accessing cosmic understanding. These synthetic methods represent attempts to gain the benefits of cosmic knowledge while avoiding some of the risks associated with direct engagement with primeval current forces. The prophetic and divination traditions that have grown around cosmic sorcery often focus on predictions about the ultimate fate of human civilization's engagement with cosmic forces. These traditions serve multiple functions, providing guidance for current practitioners while maintaining cultural awareness of the long-term implications of cosmic research. The ultimate significance of Stars of Ruin lies not just in its immediate power or historical importance, but in what it represents about human nature and the eternal tension between safety and understanding. The spell embodies our species' greatest strength, the willingness to sacrifice everything in pursuit of knowledge, while also demonstrating our greatest vulnerability to forces beyond our control or comprehension. As we reflect on Master Lusat's legacy and the continuing influence of his cosmic revelation, we must recognize that his story is fundamentally about the human condition itself. We are beings caught between our mortal limitations and our infinite curiosity, forever driven to seek understanding of forces that may ultimately consume us. Lusat's transformation from brilliant scholar to crystallized vessel represents both the heights of human achievement and the depths of cosmic horror. The preservation of Stars of Ruin ensures that future generations will have access to the knowledge that Lusat gained through his terrible sacrifice. Each new practitioner who learns the spell must confront the same fundamental questions that shaped his career. How much are we willing to sacrifice for understanding? What responsibilities do we bear for the knowledge we gain? How do we balance individual ambition against collective welfare? These questions have no easy answers, and perhaps that uncertainty is itself part of the spell's lasting significance. Stars of Ruin serves as a constant reminder that the most important truths often come with costs that cannot be calculated in advance, and that the pursuit of knowledge, while noble and necessary, requires wisdom to balance ambition with humility. The 12 dark stars that streak across battlefields throughout the lands between carry within them the essence of Lusat's cosmic vision, the terrible beauty of stellar death translated into magical form. They remind us that destruction and creation are not opposite forces, but complementary aspects of a single cosmic process, and that understanding this process requires accepting the inevitability of change and transformation. In the end, Stars of Ruin stands as both Lusat's greatest triumph and his ultimate tragedy. Through his sacrifice, he achieved genuine understanding of cosmic forces, while demonstrating the price that such understanding demands. His spell serves as a bridge between human consciousness and stellar processes, allowing mortals to touch the infinite while being reminded of their own limitations. The continuing study and application of Stars of Ruin throughout the magical community ensures that Lusat's legacy will endure for generations to come. Each casting of the spell honors his memory while perpetuating the tradition of scholarly courage that he represented. The dark stars that pursue their targets with inexorable certainty serve as lasting monuments to a brilliant mind that sacrificed everything in pursuit of cosmic truth. As we consider the future of cosmic sorcery and the ongoing influence of primeval current research, we must remember that we stand on the shoulders of giants like Master Lusat. Their sacrifices have opened new possibilities for human understanding, while also establishing the ethical and practical frameworks necessary for pursuing such knowledge responsibly. The story of Stars of Ruin reminds us that every significant advance in magical understanding comes through the dedication of individuals willing to push beyond established boundaries despite the personal costs involved. These pioneers pay the price for knowledge that benefits entire communities, and their courage in the face of cosmic uncertainty deserves our respect and remembrance. The magical traditions of the lands between continue to evolve through the ongoing interaction between established wisdom and innovative discovery. Stars of Ruin represents one crucial chapter in this ongoing story, demonstrating both the potential and the perils of pushing beyond conventional limits in pursuit of ultimate understanding. As we close our exploration of this remarkable spell and its tragic creator, we are left with a profound appreciation for the complexity of knowledge itself. Stars of Ruin teaches us that understanding comes in many forms, that power carries responsibility, and that the greatest achievements often require the greatest sacrifices. These lessons extend far beyond the realm of magic to influence how we approach all forms of learning and discovery. The legacy of Master Lusat continues to inspire and warn in equal measure. His transformation from respected scholar to cosmic entity serves as both beacon and cautionary tale for all who seek to expand the boundaries of human understanding. Through Stars of Ruin, his vision lives on, challenging each new generation to consider what they are willing to sacrifice in pursuit of truth. Next time on Lore2RPG, we'll explore the enigmatic nature of the Elden Beast and its role as the living embodiment of order itself. Until then, keep exploring those epic tales, fellow adventurers, and remember that some knowledge comes at prices we can never fully anticipate. But the pursuit of understanding remains one of humanity's most noble endeavors. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the cosmic mysteries of Elden Ring, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more comprehensive explorations of gaming's greatest stories. Your support helps us continue bringing you these detailed analyses of the rich lore that makes these worlds so compelling and memorable.